Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Virtual Touring Car Cup, sponsored by SimGrid and Go Bobby. You are joining me tonight. First thing is I don't sound like Chris, and that's because I'm not Chris. I am the Pro-Am commentator, Adam Bent. Joining me tonight is Adam Azailovich. Good evening, Adam.
Good evening, Adam. Hello, everybody.
So tonight is a slightly different format to how we usually would. Obviously, normally we'd have 2 streams, and obviously you could take your pick. But tonight we're giving you all of the action. It's 6 races tonight from the beautiful place Norsring. Obviously in the beautiful streets of Nuremberg, and as you can see, a beautiful street circuit. So tonight we have 6 races. Some of them are pro, some of them are pro-am. First thing we're going to be having is the pro lobby. As you can see at the top, Matt Dorrington, who hasn't been off the podium yet all season with 107 points. Not far behind him is Adam DeBose, who is not here tonight, so this allows Matt Dorrington a great opportunity to extend his lead at the top. Regan Mitchell, I believe, is here tonight with Stephen Haley. Roy Grassi also here, I believe. Hang on, I can get a list up of the drivers that aren't here tonight, but we have a few drivers from the top 10 who aren't here tonight, which allows all the drivers outside the top 10 a great opportunity to jump into the top 10. So excited for this 6-race marathon today, Adam?
It will be fun to see all those guys go around for.
Absolutely. So as you can see here, the grid is set. We have Matt Dorrington on the pole, right next to him, Johnny Seville from Pulse Racing. Stephen Haley behind him in 3rd place, and Regan Mitchell in 4th. David Moll up in 5th, the German, at this pretty much his home race. With Roy Grassi in 6th, Aaron Large in 7th in his 111 Audi, Mark Pimlott alongside him in 8th. Dave Ressel in the Honda in 9th place next to Mr. Ford, I'm afraid I don't know his first name. Cohen de Groot in 11th in the Alfa Romeo, Cameron Fife in 12th in the number 13 Honda, and that is our 12 drivers for this race. Only 12 drivers entering, as we've had a few dropouts. Obviously we want to say a big welcome to everybody that is joining the stream tonight, and I hope you enjoy the evening's entertainment. So Adam, obviously the first time we've ever commentated on the pro lobby, what do you expect from these guys?
I expect tight racing on all 4 corners of this track, right? So yeah, it will be fun. It doesn't matter how large the grid is, right? So we will have the tight racing all throughout it, and hopefully they will behave, right? So we'll see.
Absolutely. So like you say, it's a not a very short course, but very few corners, almost like an oval of sorts with a big chicane in the middle to spice things up. How do you expect the drivers to approach turn 1?
Oh, cautiously, right? So that's the point. Like you have the whole race, you don't win it or lose it in the first corner, right? So be careful. Get your lines, and try not to hit everybody behind, right? So hopefully we'll see. Yeah,
absolutely. So the run to turn 1 is a fairly long run, followed by a really sharp hairpin. Anybody that has been paying attention to the motorsport world today will have seen that the DTM finished off their season here, and my what a race. Well, we're going to talk less about that and more about this as the lights come on. We are going to be getting ready to go very soon. The 6 lights are on, and they are off, and we are away, and that looks like a great start from Donington, and also a good start behind from number 3 P3 Stephen Haley in the number 24 Honda. So as they come down towards turn 1, David Moll getting in between them. Lovely move from David Moll, possibly up to 3rd place there, pushed a little bit wide. But there we go, Johnny Seville straight up into 1st place, round the outside of Matt Dorrington in turn 1. Very nice move there from the Pulse Simsport driver. Matt Dorrington now fighting his way through as David Moll goes up the inside of the Honda up into P3. Roy Grassi also making a move on Regan Mitchell for 5th place. Aaron Large going through into 7th, past Mark Pimlott. So it looks like we've got a few changes of position. Regan Mitchell also gets the place on Roy Grassi. We come down towards the next hairpin. Johnny Seville seems to have it covered very nicely there. You'll see who comes out through first. That is Johnny Seville, followed by Matt Dorrington. David Moll is under attack from Stephen Haley as they come through the last turn to start the first lap. Obviously, as you can see, the races are now 2 minutes shorter to allow us to get all the races into this evening. So as we can see, Stephen Haley is chasing around the inside of David Moll. He's going to look up the inside. Is he going to be able to hold the position? David Moll goes very deep. Stephen Haley up through So now he's got to defend again from the German in the beautiful rainbow-coloured full send livery. And I believe Mark Pinmont has lost a place to Mr. Ford there in the background, as Stephen Haley is still under attack from the Alfa Romeo of David Moll.
Yeah, excellent start. Everybody behaved as clean as possible, and it's nice to see that we already have few battles that are going on for the first and third, right? So, and all the guys at the back, right? From as you can see from the timetable, you can see that everybody is around 1 second off the guy in front. So we'll have a lot of fun watching this.
Absolutely, as we follow Matt Dorrington, who is now chasing Aaron Large with the Persec Honda behind him, Mr. Ford, as Mr. Ford now looks round the outside. Is he going to be able to make that move? It's going to be a very brave move. Contact between himself and Aaron Large. Aaron Large been hit in the back. So in the background there, losing a couple of positions is Mr. Ford and Aaron Large. So unfortunate there, it looked like Ford just went a bit too deep with the Honda and pushed into the back of the Audi.
Yeah, they push a little bit too much, but it's racing, right? It happens. They just need to look straight and continue the race, right? Try to pick up some places. They still have 15 minutes, right? So.
You're absolutely right. There's Roy Grassi is being attacked slowly by Regan Mitchell there. Also on the back of Dave Moll. Dave Moll has dropped off the back of Stephen Haley slightly here. So Roy Grassi is now going to have a great opportunity to get past the Alfa Romeo here. Johnny Seville goes fastest lap at the 54.8. Rapid time there. Matt Dorrington hasn't lost the back of him still. He's within a second of the Pulse driver. So the championship leader currently tailing the Pulse Simsport racer.
Yeah, exactly. As we can see, they are 1 second apart, so 0.8. So that's one little mistake, and it can go down, right? But we can see Grassi from AJR Motorsport going on the inside, and will he get enough speed? They're side by side. We have a drag race here, right?
Absolutely, we've got a drag race up into the hairpin of pretty much the final corner here, and it looks like David Moll's run a bit deep. He's allowed Roy Grassi up the inside. This is also allowing Regan Mitchell, the number 69 Honda, to get right up to the back of them, so it's now going to be a three-way fight for the final. We're just behind the podium. There he goes. David Moll now goes around the inside. He's going to have the inside line for the hairpin. Is he going to be able to hold that line and to be able to take the position?
Yeah, he has enough speed. He has the left, right, so Regan Mitchell is basically getting him back in the position, but still this battle is going on.
Regan Mitchell now sticks a nose up the inside, so he's going to try the move here into the chicane. He goes down the inside. He's braked later than the Toyota. It looks like he's going to make the move stick. No, he's not, because then Roy Grassi's going to fight round the inside. The AGR driver not giving away the position there at all. So we've got a current battle for fourth place between three drivers, and all this battling is allowing Russell, Pinlock and Ford to catch the back of this drivers. There we go, Roy Grassi spins, locks up the brakes and spins and goes straight into the wall. Regan Mitchell now going to be on the inside of what looked like David Moll. I'm not sure if the move's been done yet or not. It looks like they haven't. But Matt Dorrington trying to chase the back of Johnny Seville now. Johnny Seville just absolutely pulling away here. He's gained over 1.2 seconds. So Matt Dorrington now trying to find the tail end of that Audi, but the Audi just seems to be pulling away. So there we go, Regan Mitchell now on the outside of David Moll. Going to run really wide, then have a narrow exit. It looks like the driver just can't get the traction down. David Moll seems to be pulling away, but no. You see the Honda's slowly reeling him back in here as the Audi's behind him and another Honda of Ford catching up slowly.
Yeah, but the point is, right, already 6 minutes of the race has passed, and now tires will play a major role, right? How did you manage your tires in the first part? It will, we can see Regan Mitchell on the inside, and Moll has gone too much on the other side, and Regan is getting his fourth place.
Absolutely, David Moll just running a bit too deep there in the final turn, and Regan Mitchell just taking the position as David Russell now has the opportunity to use that extra speed he'll have over the German driver to try and take him into the turn one, as he does look down the inside. Is he going to make the move? No, he thinks, there's contact between David Moll and Regan Mitchell, so there's a little bit more contact here at the Norsring, as we now see Regan and David both losing 2 positions. They're now fighting with Dave Russell. So Dave Russell's now gone through into 4th place, so Stephen Haley in 3rd place. What's happened to our third place driver. There he is. Steve Haley, sorry, is miles away now. He's trying to chase the back of Donington and Seville. But all this battling is allowing him to at least have an easy podium so far, as we've got pretty much everybody else in the class in this battle.
Yeah, it's excellent. I mean, it's too bad for William Malt now. They need to do it all over again, but still there is time.
Absolutely. Donington, as we can see, Donington is actually closed up right onto the back of Johnny Seville here. So Johnny Seville has possibly made a mistake into turn 1, and he's gained, looked like he'd almost gained over half a second back on the driver, as Johnny Seville seems to now be able to push the gap a little bit more, but Matt Dorrington is still closing on the Pulse driver, so it's not said and done at the front of the pack. Meanwhile, we're watching David Moll as he's now being chased by the back three of Ford, Large and Cohen de Groot. So Cohen de Groot's now joined in on this battle.
Yeah, exactly right. So the whole snake is now forming. There's a lot of races here. Still 10 laps, and with those short laps, we still have around maybe 12 laps to go. So tires will get cooked, tires will get damaged, and we'll see who measures the tires the best, right? We'll see. And we'll see Donington, as I said, right? So maybe Jonathan Seville did not manage his tires as he would like, right? But and that's why Donington is maybe having a little bit of a better pace here at this part of the race.
You're absolutely right there. And but you say that, and also Johnny Seville has did just set the fastest lap. So something's happened into turn 1. Whether he's just not getting turn 1 nailed the same way he needs to every lap.
As we mentioned earlier, right? So basically, you can have a little mistake and lost half a second, right? So just the smallest one.
You're absolutely right there. Is now Regan Mitchell is now under attack again from the German David Moll. David Moll going to look down the inside. There's a little bit of contact, but it's nothing. Rubbing is racing there. As Ford also looks down the inside. It's 3 wide as we come towards the line. No, Ford has backed out of it, but he's still not far behind. It's going to look like it's going to be 3 wide into turn 1. As Moll and Regan Mitchell both trying to hold the edge over each other. As we see the other two, David Russell and Mark Pinmont, slowly pulling away here. So there we go. It's bit deep from Ford, but it doesn't look like he's going to lose any positions. So David Moll still holding off Regan Mitchell just about here. So these two have been at it for the past almost 9 minutes now and haven't let either breathe. As David Moll out of position, they're still going up down the inside, so David Moll should have the inside line. Here's contact. More contact between Moll and Regan Mitchell. So obviously there we go, another position lost for the German. There we go. Looks like Regan Mitchell's lost all those positions there, so that could be a student's inquiry after these races. But there we go, David Moll still on the outside line. We've got 5 drivers here, all within pretty much a tenth of each other, and it's going to be a very close race as we get towards the final half of the race. Matt Dorrington's still closing in on the back of Johnny Seville, so Johnny Seville can't breathe at all, because as soon as he does, the events just will just go past.
Exactly, this battle is heating up, so we have 5 cars with similar pace and a little bit of bumps here and there, but it happens, they are all pushing, and sometimes in the blind spot you just cannot see the car. That depends, right, because we're in sim racing, somebody had VR, somebody had single screen, triple screen straight, so it's easier for one or another, but sometimes on single screen you just cannot see the car behind and cannot basically judge the distance, right? So it happens. Nobody's doing that intentionally. That's all that we want to see.
You're absolutely right there. As David Moll then runs wide again and allows Mr. Ford and what looks like Cohen de Groot down the inside. Cohen de Groot's going to look down the inside. Can he make the move stick before they get to the line? It looks like he's got the edge in front of him. The Alphas both really closing on the Honda, so the Honda's going to be under attack from 2 Alfa Romeos here. They're going to go potentially 3 wide. Nope. It looks like Mark Pinmont's had to spin. Mark Pinmont's run in turn 1. It looks like Aaron Lodge is going to get caught up in the position. So Stephen Haley hasn't lost the back, really, of Matt Dorrington or Johnny Seville. So these two can't breathe either, because as soon as if they do, Stephen Haley will close up, and it will be a 3-way fight for that win. So
it will help him if Dorrington come closer to Seville and they start battling, right? They will be slower, and basically Haley can catch them quicker, right? So 6 minutes up until the race, end of the race, right? So 2.5 seconds he needs a good battle front to catch them, right? But still, it's third podium, right? Third podium position, so I will be happy.
Absolutely. Well, Matt Dorrington hasn't given Johnny Seville any breathing space. We're back on board with Regan Mitchell for this battle for what seems to be 5th place. I'm pretty sure that Mr. Russell has pulled away as well. So Dave Russell, in this absolute bedlam that is the battle for now 5th place, has managed to pull away and obviously hold 4th place by over 5 seconds now. But again, as soon as this drive calms down and the battle sort of fades away, he may still come under attack from one of these drivers.
Yeah, he got lucky to not be included in all that shenanigans the guys did few laps earlier, right? So he has a nice distance. He is basically no man's land now, enjoying his hot lap of right, managing his tires. Nobody can catch him at the minute if he doesn't make a major mistake, so he will probably be careful.
Absolutely, and you can see in the background that Roy Grassi has gained a lot of time on these drivers. So Roy Grassi is now going to potentially join this battle for 5th place. So we're going to have 6 cars, 7 cars even, for the 5th place battle. And it's an absolutely amazing battle that we're seeing here. And just how important these points are for them midway through the season.
Yeah, exactly what we talked about earlier. So all these guys are battling, and that's basically giving the Grassi some room to catch them, right? So it's not over yet, folks.
It's absolutely not over yet as we come into the last 5 minutes of the race, and it looks to be that David Moll is going to be under attack again from the other Alfa Romeo of Cohen de Groot. Cohen de Groot sticking to the back of the full send car, and we've got Ford just behind as well. Regan Mitchell taking the place off Mark Pimlaw. Can he hold it? We look a little bit further back. We're going to see them come through the background now. It looks like Cohen de Groot is going to have another really good run at David Moll into turn 1. So here we go, as they come up towards the line now. Cohen should be able to pull alongside the German. He does, and this is now a case of who breaks later between the two, as we saw somebody go through in the background. That was Stephen Haley. There's Dave Russell just in the corner of the shot there. Again, David Moll seems to just about hold on, but there goes Regan Mitchell on the inside of Mark Pimlott. Mark Pimlott's going to get the switchback move, so he's going to be back alongside the Honda.
That's excellent. Yeah, the great racing here all around. Now in this second part, people are a little bit more respectful with the room that they're giving. Oh, we are Regan was so close to that fall. But
Roy Grassi. More importantly, there is Roy Grassi. So Roy Grassi is now caught up to the back. David Moll does it again. He runs really deep. Where's Cohen de Groot? Cohen de Groot should be able to capitalise on this mistake. He does. There he is, down the inside. So he should be able to take the place off the German, but doesn't seem to have gained the traction over David Moll here.
Yeah, they're neck by neck. We again have the drag race, but we still have Ford behind them, right?
Absolutely. Ford's gone down the inside. Ford's looking down the inside. David Moll spins, just about holds it. There we go. Cohen de Groot smacks into the side of David Moll. That's not exactly what we want to see there, but again, David Moll seems to be able to get going again, and he's going to lose the positions. He's back down behind Regan Mitchell now, so Regan Mitchell and David Moll are going to have to go at it again to try and catch the front of this pack. But now Ford leads. So, no mistake of his, no fault of his own, obviously. David Moll dropping places, but Andrew Ford definitely taking advantage of the situation in the number 77 Pertec Honda. I mean, that's a very lovely livery from the BTCC era. But here we see Cohen de Groot in the big logo race car around the outside. It looks like the Alpha has the legs over the Honda, so he's just got to try and out-drag him to turn 1. And he should be able to gain that 5th place, as we see the Alpha slowly gaining more time and more time. It looks like he's made the move, but Ford's going to hold the inside line. Where's the Cohen de Groot going to come out? As David Moll seems to have sort of cooked his tyres there. He's sliding a bit more than he wants to. Loses the place to Roy Grassi.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's what we talked about. He made a mistake in the last corner, and his tires have flat spots off.
There we go. Roy Grassi half spins there, and that allows David Moll through. Mark Pimlott looked for a way through, but Roy Grassi seemed to have collected himself there a little bit more. Looks to be that Johnny Seville is still being chased by Matt Dorrington. Stephen Haley hasn't lost any time to them. Dave Russell's pulled away from this pack, obviously, and Ford obviously not too far behind, with Cohen de Groot, Aaron Large, Regan Mitchell, Roy Grassi losing another 2 positions. So in the background, there we go. There's the battle for what looks to be 9th place, and we're having another 2 battle groups form up here as Cohen de Groot once again looks round this time to the inside of Andrew Ford. He looks like he's got the brakes this time. Can he make the move stick? It looks like he's got round the Pertec Honda.
Exactly, excellent move on the inside. He finally got his run behind Ford, and now he's rightfully in the fifth place. And it's excellent. It's two more laps up until the race, and that move was great.
Absolutely, you can see the times between Johnny Seville and Matt Dorrington at the top then, and they were just, there's no time between them really. Like every time that a fastest lap goes to Stephen Haley's, and Stephen Haley has just set the fastest lap of the race altogether. The Honda showing some absolute pace here, and again, it's quite great. It's quite good to see that 3 different manufacturers in the top 3, 4 in the top 5, and honestly, there's not much difference between them as Regan Mitchell now goes down, looks what inside of Aaron Large, as it looks like they're coming towards turn 1. He's going to brake later than the Audi and hold the inside line, and it looks like Regan Mitchell will take the position very well to get that stopped. And as we see, he's now on the back of the other Honda of Andrew Ford, so the Honda's now working together potentially to try and take that position. So here we go, we see Johnny Seville now finally starting the final lap of race 1 of 3 for the pro guys, and he looks to be set to have a fairly comfortable win unless Matt Dorrington can pull us over a second in this lap.
Yeah, definitely. If Johnny Seville doesn't make some major mistake, this will stay as it is. Basically, it's a great run. No major mistakes. We only saw Jonathan losing around half a second because of a mistake that we didn't see, but we saw it on the timetable, right? So it's excellent drive by him, and he
absolutely. As he locks up slightly there. Whoa. He locks up slightly going into the final turn, so he playing a little bit of a dangerous game there. The tyres could be shot on that Audi, but the Pulse Simsport driver comes through to the final turn, looks set to win. He is going to win race 1 of the Pro Lobby at the Norsring for round 3 of the BTCC Simsport Racing International Cup. So there we go, Matt Dorrington 2nd, Stephen Haley 3rd. Dave Russell is set to take the 4th place. Cohen de Groot should get 5th place, but there's still all to play for. You can see 7th, 8th and 9th are within a second of each other, so we're going to see who comes through for that battle. So there we go, Dave Russell now coming through to take the checkered flag here in P4. Little wiggle of celebration there. Cohen de Groot's going to take 5th place with Regan Mitchell just behind him in 6th place. Great recovery drive from him. Andrew Ford, in 8th place with Dave Moll 9th, Mark Pirmont 10th. Roy Grassi will be happy that he caught to the back of the pack here in 11th, and in 12th place I believe was Cameron Fife. So as we get set to look at race 1 of the Pro-Am Cup, we should probably have a first look at the standings. There we go, so as you can see, Martin Degala on 79 points at the front, Trev Hummer just 3 points behind him in the AJR Motorsport car, Mark Combs not far behind with 20 points difference between him and Martin Degala. Chris Callahan in the Falcon Racing car, 59 points too, so we've got a tie for 3rd place. Chris Fisher in the Fisher Motorsport car, 56. Justin Welblove in with 50 points. Martin Grewell with 50 points too. The BMW looking potentially quite strong here this weekend. Jari van Binsbergen with 44 points. Alistair Pollock with 38 points. Stu Neal with 37. So if we can have a quick look at the team standings, we'll see how that looks as we go into the first race of the Pro-Am. AJR at the top, dominating with 207 points. Fisher Motorsport not far behind, with only 2 drivers compared to the 4 for AJR. They're still doing very well on 152. Abe Bocock, I can't pronounce that, I'm afraid, with 149 points, so not far behind Fisher Motorsport. DMA on 138. Big Logo not far behind them, also with 125 points, and RSK with 103. Alpha Rude with 82, with Simsport, Alpha Ish, and the BMW 125's Eyes on 81 points. Pulse Simsport will be taking more points this weekend with their current 72, and SGS on 71. So, can anybody topple AJR from this round?
Who knows, right? We'll
Absolutely.
see. Yeah, everything can happen, and as we can see in the last race, right, with the middle pack battling and chaotic fighting, you can go on top. You can go basically at least try to do your best. That's all you can do, right?
You're absolutely right there, Adam. So as we get set to wait for everybody to jump into the Pro-Am lobby now, what are your predictions for the Pro-Am?
I don't know, to be honest. We must wait and see, but at least I hope it will be fun. so, yeah, it was great. Sorry, last track that we commented together. It was excellent driving. We have a little bit of less people still waiting for the guys to come in, right? But the last race was excellent by all of them. It was very chaotic, and I think this one will be too long.
You're absolutely right there. As we can see, Eli Schwartz, a newcomer who I commended quite highly last time out at Tor Poznan, and I said that he could be a great driver and potential for great points. Is actually on the pole there next to Mark Holmes and Chris Fisher. So Fisher Motorsport 2-3. Very, very well done from them. Championship leader Martin de Gala in 4th place, with Sibren Stoll in 5th place. Stu Neal, a great result for him there, up in 6th place, with Chris Callahan in 7th. Madden Grewell in 8th place. So our pole sitter from Tor Poznan up into 8th place, down into 8th place. Sorry. Steve Hilton in 9th place, with a newcomer Chesterbourne in 10th place. Trev Hummer, our championship challenger, in the 11th spot, with Jari van Binsbergen in 12th. Luana Santos, a newcomer from Tor Poznan, in 13th place, with Zamfarescu in 14th. 15th is Stefan de Groot, with Jamie Cullum at the background in 16th place. I believe we are still waiting for a couple of drivers. I can see a spot empty between what looks like two Alphas. So we're looking for, I believe that will be 13th or 14th place there in the background as we wait for the lights to come on. We got a lovely little flash there from Mark Holmes to let us know that he's probably watching the stream alongside.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm a little surprised by this quali, but it will be fun because we have Martin de Gala, which is our current championship leader, on 4th place, and he will not want to lose that one.
You're absolutely right there. As the lights are up, so we're getting ready to go for race 1 of the Pro-Am lobby here in the Simsport Racing International Virtual Touring Car Cup. 6 lights are on. And then they're off, and this looks like a great start from the BMW there, round the outside of Stu Neal, but also a very, very good start there from Eli Schwartz and Martin de Gala. Martin de Gala now going up through the pack there, trying to carve his way through. Madden Grewell up already very wide though, as there's a bit of contact. That looks like Chris Callahan's also had contact. There's large contact in the background as everybody's jostling for position. There's a huge crash. There's 5 or 6 cars involved in the background. Sibren Stoll, Trev Hummer, Jamie Cullum, looks like they're all involved in the background there. Mark Holmes still leading after Martin de Gala, and Eli Schwartz has dropped down to 3rd place. Chris Fisher up into 4th after having a small spin there, but Mark Holmes, the Fisher Motorsport driver, is now leading.
Yeah, that was excellent, but by Martin de Gala getting from 4th to 2nd, and now he is in the chase for Holmes, and that we are seeing Schwartz, and that was close.
Absolutely. It was very close there. But Schwartz now going around getting it attacked there by Chris Fisher. So Chris Fisher now trying to look for a way through past Eli Schwartz. Eli Schwartz is going to allow him the inside line for the small kink towards what I would call the proper turn 1. He's going to have to brake a bit later than the Toyota. He does brake later than the Toyota. They both go wide. Stu Neal goes up the inside, so does Madden Grewell. And it looks like Chesterbourne's also... contact. It looks like Madden Grewell's backwards. Eli Schwartz also involved. And Zamfarescu, as we see... Oh, there we go. That was Justin Wellblove. So Justin Wellblove is also in here. Sorry, I didn't notice you. Madden Grewell now backwards, and looks like he is in last place. Chris Callahan in 18th. So Chris Callahan's had a situation where he's possibly disconnected. There we go. So the 2 BTW racing cars further back. Mark Holmes is still leading Martin de Gala by over 1.6 seconds. So Mark Holmes has gathered the space, and he's set off on a mission. Stu Neal in the Honda in 3rd place. So we've got once again 3 different manufacturers in the top 3. We've got Luana Santos making a move with Eli Schwartz alongside. Steve Hilton in 11th place as well. It looks like we've still got quite a close battle here, as Stefan de Groot is challenging with Justin Wellblove. Justin Wellblove is going to look around the outside. Be a very good move if he can pull it off. Goes really wide. It's going to come in very deep. We can't really see as Trev Hummer's now down the inside. And there's more contact. Luana Santos loses out. Trev Hummer, the American, pushes his way through. Very, very rough racing here from the Pro-Am drivers. Hopefully they'll calm it down. But again, this is still great racing from everyone.
Yeah, excellent to see. They're basically pushing too much that T1 corner and making too much mistakes. But as we can see, Chesterton looking behind Fisher, but nothing there, at least for now. He will get back to it. And next corner, as we're seeing Santos and who is that, Hammer?
That is Zamfrescu, as Zamfrescu I believe, is trying to fight through past Luana. I believe the only female in the lobby for the Pro-Am. So she's under attack again from Zamfrescu. Trev Hammer's pulling away a little bit here, so Zamfrescu wants to get through and challenge the American as soon as possible. So the Brazilian just a bit deep. Looks like the other Audi may get an inside line, but she pulls it back quite nicely there. So we've got 4-5 Audis just in the background there, chasing down the Toyota. Jamie Cullum, the new Cameron Fife Motorsport, sorry, racer, but also Tejas Kapkar a bit further ahead with Glyn Chesterton. Glyn Chesterton also with Fife Motorsport. Justin Wellbeloved in the beautiful Ginsters Toyota. Back of Stefan de Groot. Stefan de Groot just holds it. Very well. Oh, big contact between Hummer and oh dear, a lot of cars involved again, as it looked like Stefan de Groot just tried to hold the line, and Trev Hummer's gone straight into the side of him. So Stefan
Stewards will have fun with this one.
Yeah, race one absolute chaos, as it looked like Justin maybe holding up slightly to allow Stefan to go back through. There we go. Yeah, the very well respected. So we've got the battle for second here. Stu Neal now looks down around the outside of Martin de Gala, the championship leader. He does actually make a move here, but the looks of it, he's going to make the move down the inside. So Stu Neal in the Honda, in the Matt Neal Honda, has gone past our championship leader Martin de Gala, and just in the background there you can see another Honda, and also Chris Fisher and the Honda of Glyn Chesterton. Stu Neal's now going to trying to hold defensive, as he blocks up, slides massively, but he's going to look down the inside. If he can make this move stick, it's going to be an amazing move as he locks up, slides round, and then still makes the move on Martin de Gala. The Honda, having superior traction through that last corner, has just absolutely boosted out of there, and now he's being pushed down the straight by Martin de Gala. Martin de Gala's going to look down the inside. So here we go into turn one. Once again, the Honda, is he going to have a little squirrely moment? No, he's not. He's not going to lock. He's going to lock up, but he's going to hold it. And there's contact, but he holds it. Once again, Stu Neal showing just how well he can pedal that Honda Civic. And this is allowing Chris Fisher to go around the outside here of Martin de Gala. Martin de Gala is trying to hold off two cars now, and also chase the second place driver, Stu Neal. But all this is allowing Mark Cones to take what seems to be a commanding lead so far.
That was a little mistake by Martin doing. He was doing very well, and now he needs to battle for third, where we can see something happen.
Big contact! Huge contact! Martin de Gala and Tejas Kapkar have all caused contact, which has allowed Glyn Chesterton on his BTCC debut up into third place. So Glyn Chesterton will be absolutely loving this. He's now got 12 minutes to try and hold off our championship leader and our championship challengers from the first two rounds of Chris Fisher, Martin de Gala and Tejas Kapkar. Kapkar has dropped quite far back here, so the stewards are going to have a field day with these incidents, as Chris Fisher now looks down the inside of Martin de Gala. Martin de Gala is going to have to defend again from the British driver as he looks round the outside. He's going to cut back, potentially try and get the position for the next corner. He does. He sets himself up for a run. Can't make it stick, but he is going to have the traction to get alongside the Alfa Romeo here, I think. As a bit of contact in the background there for Tejas Kapkar. Kapkar hits the wall slightly. Lucien Zamfrescu is now going to chase and pass what looks to be for 6th place here. Nope, back up to down to 7th, as it looks like Tejas is just going to hold the inside line and stay in the right position. And here we go again. Zamfrescu is going to have a little bit more traction through. He's going to get pushed a little bit.
Yeah,
contact! Huge contact! As we watch Tejas split.
Oh no, I never saw that in AC.
That was an incredible situation. Tejas has been put back to the pits. He's flipped that much.
Oh, he saved it.
So Zamfrescu is going to be very much trouble with the stewards for that, potentially, as he was pushed across a little bit. We'll come back to that after the race is over, but as the teammates are now causing contact.
Oh, they
And
need
this is allowing
small
Eli
corner.
Schwartz around the outside. He's going to stay on the... There's a bit too much pushing there for my liking, as he's slopped in between. Eli Schwartz is going to go down the inside of what looks to be it looks like 7th place. Sibren Stoll is going to... What's happened here? Sibren Stoll is going to go down the inside. Allows both drivers to back through. The SGS cars have gone back through as well. So we've got a battle for 7th place here with Eli Schwartz, Sibren Stoll and Lucien Zamfarescu. Jari van Spinsbergen's had an issue, I believe. He's dropped down to the bottom and out, what looks like to be out of the race. So we've got Tejas in 15th, Jamie in 16th, Stefan in 14th, Luana in 13th. There's looked like a little bit of a lock up there from Eli Schwartz. Madden Grewell in 12th with Chris Callahan in 11th. Justin Wobolov, who normally would be quite a lot higher up in the grid, is only 10th. Eli Schwartz in 9th place as we watch him battle with the 2 SJS cars. As we watch also somebody, I believe, spun in the background there. So we've got Sibren Stoll and Lucien Zamfarescu taking up 8th and 7th. Steve Hilton pulling away there in 6th place. Chris Fisher in 5th, still chasing down Martin Degala, giving Martin Degala no breathing room here as we watch the battle here. Stefan de Groot's had an issue. He's spun slightly again, I think. Jamie Cullum's going to make the position though. But here we go. So these two are battling still and also chasing Glyn Chesterton, who is currently holding a 3rd place spot in his first race in the BTCC.
Yeah, but this battle will help him out. We still have 9 minutes up until the end of the race, right? So anything can happen. And as we speak, teammates are getting together. They are getting side by side. Eli Schwartz is keeping the position.
Absolutely. Well, as you know, the unwritten rule of motorsport, never hit your teammate. These two have definitely taken that rule and thrown it out of the window here, as Eli Schwartz is still trying to find a way past these two Audis. The bright pinks all fit together quite nicely, and all this is allowing is Justin Wobolov in the Ginster's Toyota to catch up right behind them.
Yeah, this is excellent. We have now seen that they settle a little bit and they don't do much mistakes. As I just said, Eli Schwartz make a mistake, as we are seeing Martin Degala is attacked by Fisher, and he
runs a little bit wide there, but Fisher follows him through. So I think Fisher's just trying to hang off the back of him, see if they can catch up to Glyn Chesterton, and then they can fight. Similar situation here, is it looks like Sibren is going to try and make the move on his teammate again. This is allowed. There we go, the move has been made, but is he going to be able to hold it is the question, as his teammate is now going to go right onto the back of him and challenge him, as Justin Wobolov's now challenging the American Eli Schwartz. In the background, it looks to be fairly interesting here as we watch Eli pulled wide, so he's going to try the inside line to hold the Ginster's Toyota up as they go deep. It looks like a great defense there from the Audi. So we're watching as we see Glyn Chesterton and Martin Degala not too far apart now. It looks like they are slowly gaining on them. Chris Fisher's now also gaining right onto the back of Martin Degala. Steve Hilton hopefully will be able to... Oh, here we go. Eli Schwartz is going to go for it. Eli Schwartz has gone for it. So being overtaken on the straight, and then Eli Schwartz is going to send one up the inside into turn 1. Very, very well done there to race cleanly with Justin. And Justin's going to slot in behind. Justin's trying the outside move. There's not much room out there.
That's too close.
4 contacts there between the two drivers. It's once again.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, we're going to see more contacts. We see more contacts. Chris Callahan and Madden Grewell will catch Eli Schwartz. So Eli Schwartz now pushed into the wall by the BMW. Fellow American. 3 Americans in this lobby, and none of them getting much luck today. Tejas Katkar hasn't had another issue. He's gone back down to 13th place. Jamie Cullum also having a similar issue and dropping down to... Oh, well that's not... There we go. So there we go. It looks like Martin's going to be under attack again from Fisher. Are we going to see the move? No, I don't think... Oh, he's gone alongside. He is alongside the Alpha. He's going to have the inside line for the next turn. It looked like he bumped the wall. Eli Schwartz has retired to the pits. So whether that's too much damage or just not wanting to take part anymore, he's gone back down to the pits. So our pole sitter, once again, having no luck in the races. I believe it's there we go. I think that's Chris Fisher in the wall. That is Chris Fisher in the wall.
Yeah, definitely he misjudged, and they're pushing too much. They're having so much troubles, and all that spinning around and destroying the tires completely. 5 minutes up until the end of the race, and they will do it a few more times, I'm sure.
You're absolutely right there, Adam, as we see Steve Hilton is now joined to the back of this little train that is forming. So Steve Hilton now on the back with Sibrin Stoll not too far behind, Lucien Zamfarescu also not too far behind him. Mark Holmes here is having a fairly comfortable race, but Stu Neal is reeling him in slowly. Dave Hedges has said in the chat, Stewards may have a long meeting ahead. I definitely think so there, Dave.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. We saw a lot of mistakes made by guys, but as we're seeing here, the Hilton is going on the inside. Not that, guys. Oh, a little bit of priming. It's all good, and he's getting the move done. But still, Fisher is on the move behind him, and he's in the slipstream. He'll probably be just fine where he is, at least for this T1. I don't think he will have the. Maybe he will. He's going on the side. He's going on the inside of it, but yeah, he will. Oh no!
Oh, it looks like another mistake
Yeah.
there from Chris Fisher. Chris Fisher now on the inside line there. He needs to get out of the way as he spins round. He smacks the wall again. So where's Lucien Zamfarescu? So Lucien Zamfarescu shouldn't be too far behind. There he is. So Chris Fisher has cooked his tyres, I think, and it's sort of showing as Mark Holmes is now being chased by Stu Neal. Stu Neal is closing the gap rapidly here. So Stu Neal and Mark Holmes, they're catching the back markers. That's why back markers are now playing a factor in this race. Normally you wouldn't see too many back markers, but here we go. It looks like Stefan de Groot, so 16th place, has been lapped now by the race leader. Not far behind is our second place driver, Stu Neal. So let's see how the back markers affect this racing. So that's Jamie Cullum just in front of them. Luana Santos isn't too much further up the road, and Jari van Binsbergen isn't too far either. So Stu Neal's right on the back. So Stu Neal may make the move here into turn one. So after commanding this race, the back markers seem to have played a role in allowing Stu Neal to close up. Stu Neal's right onto the back of the race leader now, so it's going to be a race in the last 3 minutes for the win. Glyn Chesterton seems to have a fairly decent gap between himself and the front two. Martin Degala is still not too far behind Glyn Chesterton, so Glyn isn't absolutely confirmed the podium yet. As there we go, Stu Neal makes a move down the inside. Mark Holmes is now going to fight his way back as Stu Neal does push his way through. So Mark Holmes, after a clean race, after leading pretty much all of the race, has now got the work to do to overtake Stu Neal in the Honda.
I'm not sure that he can do it. As I was seeing, backmarkers did have a little bit of role, but I just think that Neil, as I said, right, he cooked his tires. He pushed too much. It's now we are seeing in the last few corners. Neil was just too fast in the last lap, and it looked like his tires are off completely, right? So he pushed too much and they are damaged. So yeah, we'll see. I think Neil got it. If he doesn't make a major mistake or something, he will get it. As you can see, the pace is completely different now between those two.
You're absolutely right there, Adam. As we come into the last 2 minutes here, Mark Holmes is dropped right off the back of Stu Neal, so Mark Holmes may have a problem, whether he's got to conserve fuel or there's something wrong with the tyres. We're not quite sure. We'll obviously find out probably at some point. But so Fisher, after looking what could have been a 1-2, they're not even going to get the win here.
Well, yeah, it's Pro-Am racing, right? So anything and everything can and will happen, right? So they still have 2 races more to go, right? So they need to calm down a little bit, and there was just a little bit touching to our liking, right? So
I can imagine it's a bit like the Monza I think it was an F2 race where they had to bring everybody into the stewards room and give them all a slap on the wrist as they were racing a bit too dangerously. As there we go, another send from Madden Grell in the BMW. He's going to send it up the inside. If he can hold the position, that's an amazing move there. I'll give that to him. That's a brilliant move in the BMW. So the BMW back up to 9th place. Next car along is Chris Callahan, but Stu Neal coming on towards what's set to be the penultimate lap here, I believe. Definitely looking likely to take the win here unless Mark Holmes can pull back a miracle. Glyn Chesterton though isn't set to take that podium as Martin Degala is now right on the back of him with just a second between the 2 drivers. So Glyn needs to try and pull a little bit more of a gap as there we go. Martin Degala just set his personal best lap over a second faster than Glyn. So Glyn's now got to fight the race of his life in the last 30 seconds and whatever, and plus 1 lap to take this podium.
Yeah, this is excellent fight for the third, but as I'm seeing here, Chesterton is a little bit having a little bit problems with his car, probably his tires again. Made a little big roll here because Martin Val was way off him in the last 5 minutes, as we can
There we
see.
go.
Martin
Degala
spins.
spins. So Degala now losing the position to Glenn Chesterton after spinning. He lost the position to Steve Hilton as well. Steve Hilton now having the chances. Here we go, white flag lap now. So Stu Neal has 6 seconds. He's pulled 6 seconds in 2 laps over his British compatriot there, Mark Combs, in the Toyota Avensis. The Avensis seems to have just absolutely dropped off the place. 2 Hondas on the podium. Who would have thought it coming into the season that we'd see the Honda on the top step? Probably the oldest and probably the most recognisable of these touring cars is going to take the race win here so far, unless something happens to him in the last few corners here. I can't see it though, as he comes through the final major corner here. Does very well not to touch anything, and here we go. So he's going to be set to take the race 1 win here in Norsring for the Pro-Am lobby. Your winner, Stu Neal, in the Honda Civic Nero Motorsport car.
Yeah, that was excellent fun, as we're seeing him taking his, and we see Holmes at 2nd, and
it looks like Glenn Chesterton should take 3rd. So in his debut in the BTCC at the 3rd round, Glenn Chesterton taking a podium. Steve Hilton will be happy with 4th place. Martin Degala will be ruining What If in 5th. Sibrin Stoll in 6th place with Chris Fisher 7th. And not a great recovery drive from himself. Chris Callahan in 8th with Madden Grewell in 9th. It looks like he's going to have a race with Justin Webber up towards the line, but Justin's going to get just to the line. A little bit of door banging, a little bit naughty there. Tejas just not far behind, but what an interesting race.
That was fun to watch, even with all those touches and all the problems that we see. That was excellent to see, and I must give it to the drivers. They're trying their best, and this is, even if it's the track is short, right? It's very technical, and it's very odd places to brake for overtaking Team 1 and some other corners. So, but they did their best, and we enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Thoroughly seeing everything happens, right, and everything went wrong for all guys that it could go wrong. Basically, we have a pole sitter going it back into the pits, and hopefully for the next race they will be a little bit more careful.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a small break here to get our breath before the second races. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, welcome back to Virtual Touring Car Cup with Simsport International, Gridfinder and Go Bobby. We are here at round 3 in the Norsring, and as if you've been with us for the first 2 races, what first 2 races it's been, and if you're joining us, you've just missed out on probably some of the greatest racing we've seen this season. We see the Honda of Stu Neal taking the win in Pro-Am, and Jonathan Seville pipping Matt Donington to the Pro Race win. So as we get ready, or get close to getting ready for race 2 here, what are your predictions for the Pro Lobby, Adam?
Well, we'll see. With ballast taking a role, right, everything can happen. So I'm guessing that this one will be a lot cleaner than the last one that we see. Based on the first race, they're guys were doing very, very well and very respectable, clean racing. They need to figure out the tire wear, basically, as I'm seeing a lot of problems and a lot of pace loss, especially at the last part of the track, because I think this Norsring is a little bit more abrasive that they thought that it was, right? So they need to be a little bit more careful with those, manage the tires better.
You're absolutely right there, and as you said, ballast will be taking effect in this race, so the pole sitter Jonathan Seville will have the maximum ballast, Matt Dorrington a little bit less, and I believe it down to about 8th or 9th place will all have a little bit of extra weight to their cars. So as we wait for the lights to go out, you can see the finishing order from race 1, Jonathan Seville taking the win, Matt Dorrington 2nd place, Stephen Haley in 3rd place, Dave Russell in 4th, Cohen de Groot in 5th place, with Regan Mitchell alongside him in 6th place, with Aaron Large and Andrew Ford in 7th and 8th. David Moll, the German, had his home race in 9th place with Mark Pimlott alongside Roy Grassi and Cameron Fife, rounding out our drivers. So as we wait for the lights to come on, we can see the beautiful liveries, all designed by various different designers, whether it be themselves or some of the wonderful designers we have in this league and indeed this community. So we have 50-second warning from our box as we wait to see everybody start revving up their engines. You can see in the background there the two beautiful liveries there, the Cameron Fife Motorsport and the AJR car of Roy Grassi, all the way through the lobby, a bright and colourful livery from each driver.
Yeah, it's very colorful, great. I love them all. I mean, there are some ones that there are a lot of guys who are doing liveries, and we love them how they work, right? So, but yeah, race is starting.
Absolutely. So here we go. As the lights are about to come on, we wait for the 6 beautiful red lights to tell us it's time to go. So here we go. The 6 lights are on. And they're off, and this looks like a fairly decent start. It looks like a bad start in the background for Andrew Ford. A very, very good start there from Jonathan Seville, as also Matt Dorrington looks around the outside. So Matt Dorrington looks like he should take the lead here, unless somebody can send it down the inside. Looks like a bit of a decent start. There we go, a little bit pushed wide, and there we go. Jonathan Seville still holds the lead, but out of all of this, Matt Dorrington has lost out massively. David Moll from 9th place up to 3rd place. 4 wide here as we go, 5 wide as we go into the hairpin. 5 wide, have they held it still? We can't see just yet. There we go, as they all come through. It's clean, so after a 5 wide entry into the chicane, they all come out beautifully clean. An amazing start here from the pro lobby, much cleaner than we've seen. And here we go, Regan Mitchell. Oh, there's more contact between teammates there. Regan Mitchell up on the curb.
Yeah, something happened before that moves, but they are still holding up. And it's fairly clean. It was amazing to see the 5 wide. Yeah, and yeah, we're still going, and we're still seeing a battle with Mr. Haley and Grassi.
Roy Grassi losing out there to Stephen Haley. Stephen Haley also looks set to take the position into the braking zone. Jonathan Seville is under attack from Cohen de Groot. Cohen de Groot, the Alfa Romeo big logo car, is now leading potentially as they come towards the chicane. The Pulse driver looks like he's got the inside line, so Cohen's got a lot to do to try and get past this driver, even with the extra ballast. Johnny seems to be able to hold him off. There we go, the Alfa Romeo is now going to get right onto the back of him. He's going to try and get a little bit of the toe. It looks like he's got a better run out with the less weight in his car. He looks down the inside, he's taken the lead on track, but the braking zone should allow Johnny back through.
Yeah, but excellent.
Bit of contact there.
Oh no.
Bit of contact there between Dorrington and Cohen. So Cohen now trying to catch the back of Johnny, but with that little bit of a tap, Matt Dorrington obviously trying to get back through past the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo defending with all its life.
Yeah, but Dorrington is coming on to him, and Seville now can breathe a little bit, and Dorrington is going on the outside, but nothing to it. The Groot is basically now at back of the Seville, but you can see the difference with the pace now in the first race and this one because of the ballast, right? So Seville cannot get, even with the battle behind him, he cannot breathe.
Absolutely. Well, here we've got the teammates going at each other. Regan Mitchell and Stephen Haley seem to be going at each other here. The Honda of Cameron 5 not far behind at all. So these two are going to have to fight themselves and also defend off the Hondas. So this battle of Hondas at the back here with Dave Russell, the top Honda at the moment in 5th place, fighting with Mark Pimlott. Matt Dorrington still on the back of Cohen de Groot, not far behind Jonathan Seville is Cohen. So here we go. Andrew Ford and Cameron Fife have had an accident, believe further back. Cameron Fife now dropping to the back of the grid. Looks like he's lost 3 seconds to Andrew Ford. So another small incident in the background. There you can see the 2 Simsport racing cars in the background. And David Moll seems to be dropping off the back of this front 3 slightly. So there we go, a little bit of contact again. Looked like Roy and what seemed to be Dave having a small tangle there as Aaron Large is trying to get round the inside of the AJR car, being pushed wide. Cameron Fife's motorsport car, Dave Wrestle, is trying to fend off the AJR car as well, while also trying to chase Mark Pimlott and David Moll.
Yeah, definitely, but he is defending very well. He is in the control of the car constantly, and we are seeing now Dorrington with the Groot, right? He made a move and he's in the 2nd place. He's a beautiful task to defend against the Groot.
De Groot's looking up the inside again. It looks like the Alpha's going to have a superior brake force. It does look like he's going to make the move, but Dorrington somehow holds around the outside, so a beautiful move there.
Nice.
Just keep it stick as Roy Grassi is so Grassi now dropping back, further back, down past. There we go, we've just been told he went slightly deep on the brakes, so that's a really unfortunate situation for Roy Grassi. Meanwhile, Matt Dorrington is still under attack from the Alfa Romeos, and Mark Pimlott's decided to join the battle here as well, as Aaron Large runs really wide out of the exit, so it looks like he's going to lose a couple of positions there as well. Matt Dorrington being chased ever so slightly here by Cohen de Groot. Cohen de Groot is not giving up on that 2nd place hunt, as Matt Dorrington is just trying to close the gap here between himself and Johnny Seville. David Moll still under attack from Mark Pimlott. Mark Pimlott in the Audi seems to have superior grip out of the last turn, so it looks like he's going to try and make the move into turn 1. There we go, so he pulls alongside now, I think. There we go, he's going to pull alongside the braking zone. David Moll's just going to hold the inside line here, but it looks like Pimlott may try the inside line. No, he's not going to. Roy Grassi making a move on what looked to be Regan Mitchell, it was. So Regan Mitchell now dropping down into 9th place, or 10th place even, sorry, next to Roy Grassi.
Yeah, but what is interesting, Jonathan Seville is having a gap now because of all that battling behind him. As we can see here, David Russell and Grassi and Mitchell battling for the 8th position, right? And we see Grassi going on the inside, and he's getting the job done. That's excellent move from De Grassi.
So Roy Grassi, Scotsman, goes through past Dave Russell. Next car on the road is Stephen Haley with Aaron Large. So we're getting little packs here forming as little duos between each driver as they fight, as Matt Dorrington is still closing the gap. He's now going to bring it down to just under a second, which then bounces back up over a second. So David Moll is also fighting with Mark Pimlott, and they're about a second and a bit back from the top 3 of Cohen, Matt and Johnny. But David, still a very good race, potentially a redemption race here for the German at his home race.
Yeah, he had a little bit of misfortune in the last race, but that doesn't mean he just needs to look forward, right, and forget about the bad ones and try to do what he can do. He's not that far off the Groot, right? So with 11 minutes up until the end of the race, right, we can see a lot. But as we are seeing Pimlott going on to the attack, he had a lot of grip and nice exit from the last corner.
Looks like a nice exit, but is he going to have the superior run into turn 1? He's going to have the inside line, so David Moll's going to send it really deep on the brakes. He's not going to have the defensive line there. He's pretty much given up the position there to Mark Pimlott. And Mark Pimlott's now gone through. Dave Russell's now gone back on the inside of Regan Mitchell. Regan Mitchell's going to try and hold the line through. So David Moll's now lost the position to Mark Pimlott. He's going to look down the inside. If he can make the move back, it's going to be an amazing move. He pushes a little bit wide, but they both get through fairly cleanly. It's a little bit of rubbing, but rubbing is racing, as they say. So Cohen de Groot now dropping off the back of Matt Dorrington. David Moll still fighting the 2 Audis there behind him of Mark Pimlott and Aaron Large. Aaron Large is going to look round the outside there of Mark Pimlott. Not very good idea there in the last turn.
He's exactly doing the same thing as he did in the last lap. He went too deep on the exit, and now he's again in the same problem, right? Now we will see what happens in this one. He has a little bit of more speed, I guess.
I think, yeah, it looks like Mark Pimlock's got a little bit more speed here. So he's now going to try the same move again. David Moll's going to try the same defensive position, run around the outside. He's going to try and fend off two cars at once here. So the German's now going to fend off two cars. Mark Pimlock's going to make the move through. Can he hold the defensive line again? David Moll's not going to have the same run that he did last time. So he's now going to have to defend from Aaron Large as well. So a bit of a poor exit there from David Moll has put him under attack from the Audi of Aaron Large.
Yeah, and Pimot now have a little bit of space to breathe, and he's getting this exit perfectly well. We are seeing guys battling again. It was a large, right? Was that?
That's Aaron Large going through on David Moll. David Moll fighting back though. It looks like he's going to have a better run towards turn one. The Alpha has now pulled alongside and nosed in front, but there we go, the brakes. He's been pushed onto the outside line. It's not the advanced line there. Very difficult to defend or overtake on the outside. You need that a little bit of that inside line, but he's going to have a look round into the chicane. You can see him pull out slightly there to see where Aaron's going to go. Aaron goes defensive and holds the line really well. But also, there we go, Stephen Haley's right on the back and not far behind Roy Grassi, Dave Russell, Cameron Fife. You know, Regan Mitchell, is not far behind. So Cameron Fife is a bit further back with Andrew Ford right in the background. So we're not quite sure where they are on track, whether they're going to become a back marker factor or not. We're not quite sure with 8 minutes left to go. We can see there Stephen Haley right on the back of the German and Aaron Large in his yellow, grey and white Audi.
Yeah, this battle is heating up. We have 8 minutes and he's coming back on the side, and Moll is on the inside. He will keep that place or take that place. Oh, a little bit of touch there,
a little bit too much curb there from David Moll. Has allowed Stephen Haley to close up the gap once again. Stephen Haley's now going to look round to the inside of the Audi. He thinks better of it, but he's going to try and get a better run through this turn here and hopefully push himself past these two cars in front of him and then onto the back of Mark Pimott and then hopefully Cohen de Groot. But once again, we've got three different drivers and three different manufacturers in the top three. Jonathan Seville, Matt Dorrington, the same story as usual so far. Cohen de Groot, the newcomer, in the top three there, and Mark Pimott not far behind though.
Yeah, Jonathan Seville did an excellent job. He stayed out of trouble. He had a little bit of battle at the start, but everybody behind him had a lot of battles. So basically, your tires will be damaged more than his if he's not doing the right thing. But we are seeing here Haley going on the inside. He's trying to get the run for it behind two cars. He will get a lot of slipstream.
David Moll just about defends from Aaron Large in the Audi. The Alfa Romeo trying to make itself as wide as possible. For a small car, he's making it very wide, and the Honda isn't far behind either. There we go, the Honda's now following through. David Moll, Aaron Large defending on that outside line. Going to look to try and outbrake, I think, the German into the final turn. He does, he looks to outbrake him. David Moll runs super deep again. This is going to allow two drivers through at once, so he's not only lost two positions by running deep there, he's now going to try and also fend off Roy Grassi, who's not far behind at all. So here we go, David Moll's now going to try and find his way back through.
Oh pushes, no, a little bit of touch.
Gives him a little bit of a shove to say, come on, let's get going. He wants to get through. The German is in a rush there, he's going to try and make the positions back. He's gone really wide. I'm not sure how that's going to work for him. It's not worked very well at all.
Well,
Roy Grassi's closed up.
Yeah,
meanwhile,
side by side.
The leaders have got gaps between themselves, so there's not much changing at the front three at the moment. Keep you updated on that. Stephen Haley's still fighting for that 5th place with Aaron Large and David Moll. Obviously, this is kind of important as well, because not only are they fighting for points here, they're also fighting for the reverse grid pole. They want that reverse grid pole. Obviously, it's a random draw, but being in the top, I believe it's the top 8, or sorry, top 10, is an important factor. You need to be within the top 10. And more importantly, I believe outside of the top 5. So Stephen Haley, while he may take that 5th place, will be in the reverse, obviously in the reverse pole, isn't the greatest position.
Yeah, but I don't think he thinks about that at the moment, right? He wants to get that car in front of him. he wants to to take that fourth place for Pimot, right? So, but
Absolutely.
we see a great battle here with the guys, and Steve needs to get on it. It's still 5 minutes
Abs- you're
left, right?
absolutely right.
So they're basically constantly battling, as you can see, and the pace is not very different from these guys, so they're keeping a tight bunch there.
There we go. As we can see, the race leader here, Jonathan Seville, really not been challenged much other than that first lap. So Matt Dorrington has got a lot of work to do to try and catch our race leader here. Cohen de Groot has dropped off the back, so Cohen de Groot's still in a comfortable position enough here to potentially take his first I believe this could be his first podium in the BTCC here. So again, obviously with the lack of the front runners in the standings today, it's going to allow these drivers a potential at the podium, and I think that's what they all realise. They all realise that they're going to fight each other as hard as possible to get this, these podiums while the faster drivers are away.
And as we saw before, right, it's really unpredictable. Not even we can predict something that will happen. It's always mashing up as we don't see it, right? So basically, yeah, it's a fun to see, and not everybody is basically taking all the first places, all the podiums, right? So as we are seeing now, the mall attacked by Large, right?
Absolutely, Aaron Large still on the back of David Moll. David Moll not being given a second to breathe at all here as we watch from the back the German flag in the bottom of the screen there being chased by the British driver Aaron Large. Aaron Large still not off the back of David Moll by much. He's just slowly seems to be pulling a gap here. So David just needs to get in a rhythm and put his head down and try and catch Stephen Haley in 5th place here. He's going to still give it a very good go in the full send car. Aaron Large in the 11th racing car trying to catch up with David Moll.
Yeah, but Steve now got a little bit of gap so he can breathe, as we are seeing Regan Mitchell and David Russell battling. Regan is on his tail and he will get on the side, but will he overtake him? Still not yet. Regan is getting on the inside. Russell is going on deep on the outside and he is losing position for that. That's an excellent move from Regan Mitchell.
Absolutely, very well worked there from Regan Mitchell. There we go, as we see him now chasing down the rest of the drivers here. The next car on the road is Roy Grassi. David Moll still sort of under attack here from Aaron Large, a little bit less so now. But we go with Matt Dorrington once again. He's closing up on the back of Johnny Seville. Can he make something of it in the last 2.5 minutes of the race? So we've had the 15.5 minutes of a race so far, and Jonathan Seville has been racing and commanding for most of this race. So he now has the opportunity here to take a second race win away from Matt Dorrington. But obviously he's not going to do that easily, and Matt Dorrington will fight back with everything he's got here. You can see potentially the tyres on the Audi are starting to go here because the gap is closing down rapidly. Jonathan Seville now has to defend from the championship leader Matt Dorrington as they come towards turn 1 in the last 2 minutes. So we've got about 3 laps to go as we see Matt Dorrington following. It gives a little bit of nudge.
No.
Contact between the two drivers, so contact. David Moll's entered the pit, so David Moll's had a situation where he's dropped down to the pit lane. So whatever's happened to David Moll, we're not quite sure. We'll see what happens to him. But that's contact between Dorrington and Jonathan Seville. Could that decide the race here? Could it mean that Dorrington's all the hard work that Dorrington's done to close up to the back of the Pulse Simsport driver is going to have to try and gain all of it back in this last little bit of the race? David Moll.
That was a brave move, but he outbraked himself, and luckily it wasn't too much of a damage for both cars. They didn't spin in the wrong way, and they are still racing, and we are getting into penultimate lap, where we'll see if Dorrington had too much damage in that accident. He may not catch Seville, but Seville is now a big role of his tires because they are wear out more than before because of his ballast, so he may not be as fast as he was, as we saw it on the last lap where Dorrington hit him on T1, right? But we'll see. He still has a lap and a half to try to get another win.
Absolutely, a lap and a half to go, and that's all that separates him and race 2 victory here at the Norsring. Matt Donington not far behind at all still, so there's still all to play for between the two drivers here. The Audi seems to be a little bit more planted with the extra weight. Matt Donington still also has extra weight, so both of them will be feeling it a little bit more as Cohen de Groot looks set to take P3 here. So it's a battle of the victors here. It looked to be that Matt Donington had a faster lap, but only by a tenth on the last lap, so it's not enough really to catch the back of Johnny Seville and pass him. So it's all to play for still, but it's a lot of work to do, and a big ask for Matt Donington to catch the back of Johnny Seville in time.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, I draw with Jonathan. He defends very well, so he will not try not to lose that first position in the last few corners.
Absolutely right there. So as we come through to the last couple of corners now, Johnny Seville looks set to be quite comfortable here. It's close, but it's not close enough. Johnny Seville comes through the last major corner, so we're going to see if Matt Donington can pull almost a second gap into the final turn. No, there's not enough in it. It's going to be close, but not enough. Jonathan Seville, that's take race 2. He does take race 2 in commanding fashion once again. Matt Donington second place, Cohen de Groot in third. I believe that may be his first podium for the season. Mark Pinmont in fourth, Stephen Haley in fifth, with Aaron Large and Roy Grassi taking up 6th and 7th, with Regan Mitchell not far behind. Dave Russell coming through the final corner now for 9th place. Ooh, pardon me, sorry, as Cameron 5 is still under attack from David Moll, so David Moll may get 10th place yet. But more importantly, 10th place is the final place in the reverse grid pole. So Cameron 5 looks set to take the reverse grid pole position random draw area. So there we go, as the final racer comes through now. That is Andrew Ford. So race 2, a little bit less hectic, but still plenty of action.
Plenty of action. That was excellent to see. Very respectable. A few touches here and there, but I loved it. We had a lot of great battles throughout the field. We had a great battle at front up until that touch at the end in the second to last corner, second to last lap. But it happens. They are all trying to get a win, right? And if that didn't happen, we would see different outcome.
Yeah, absolutely right there. But so race 2 does go the way of Pulse Simsport and Jonathan Seville. Matt Donington will still be happy with another podium once again, second place finish. And of course, I believe Cohen de Groot getting his first podium. I will double check that fact, but I believe it is his first podium in the series.
Yeah, that's an excellent result for him. I'm sure that he will be happy.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have a small break here between the race and Pro-Am Race 2. We'll be right back soon. Well, welcome back to the Simsport Virtual Touring Car Cup in association with Go Bobby and Gridfinder. You join us as we get ready for race 2 of 3 for the Pro-Am Cup. You can see there Stu Neal on the pole after an amazing race win there next to Mark Combs, and the first time out podium for Glenn Chesterton, Steve Hilton in 4th place. Martin de Gala, our championship leader, coming into this round in 5th place, with Sibrin Stoll next to him in 6th. Chris Fisher, after a disappointing race 1, will be looking to try and take a more commanding race 2. Chris Callahan in 8th place, Madden Grewell in 9th place, the American alongside Justin Wellblove in the Ginsters Toyota. Tejas Katkar next to his Alfa Romeo partner there of Jari van Spinsbergen, as Luana Santos in 13th place, Stefan de Groot in 14th, with Jamie Cullum in 15th and Eli Schwartz in 16th. Do we have any other drivers on our list? I can't see. We do believe we have 17 or 18 drivers in this lobby. I will get to those as soon as we know. So we do, sorry, I do apologise. We've got Triumph Hammer in 17th, Lucien Zanfrescu 18th, and Stefan Andrei Gaju in 19th place. So we have 19 runners in this Pro-Am lobby race. Are you looking forward to this, Adam?
Oh yes, but I think the guys need to remember that it's not Demolition Derby and they need to more race, less touch, but hopefully they will ease up a little bit on this one. Maybe they had a little bit of adrenaline dump and they wanted to do the best they can and they overdid themselves. I think we'll have fun with this. We'll have fun with this one too.
Absolutely right there, buddy. As we get set to get racing, we can see all the drivers there, all looking forward to it. You can see their championship leader in 5th place and his nearest rival right at the back of the grid here in what looks to be 17th place. We are missing one driver. Not quite sure who hasn't joined us back. We'll find that out soon. But here we go, as we get close to race time. Not long left now between lights out. We can see Mark Holmes on the front flashing his lights, getting a flashback from a couple other drivers there as they're all waiting to go. They're excited. 6 lights are ready to come on here. As we wait for them to come on, we should be getting ready to go soon. The 6 lights are on once more. And they are off, and that looked like a little bit of a jump start there from one of the drivers. Madden Grell, once again, a great start in the BMW, pushing a little bit wide there. He's going to get pushed onto the grass if he's not careful. Stu Neal seems to be able to cover off the attack of Mark Holmes. Mark Holmes to look around the outside, runs it very deep. It looks like we've got a fairly bit of bumping there. Steve Hilton, but it looks like we've got everybody through fairly cleanly. Stu Neal and Mark Holmes seem to have run away a little bit. Glenn Chester not far behind, as we see everybody slowly jostling for position there. 18 drivers all into turn 1, a very interesting start. Stu Neal, Mark Holmes not giving each other any room at all. Glenn Chester not far behind. We've got Tej Kapkar, Justin Wellblow, Luana Santos, Trev Hammer all making their way up. So Trev Hammer from 18th place, 17th place on the grid, sorry, all the way up to 8th place. 9 positions on the opening lap, 7 already. Very hard, fighting hard with Luana Santos, but Stu Neal pushed wide. Mark Holmes, and looks like Glenn Chester is going to try and take advantage of this. The Honda being a little bit quicker out of the exit though, so there we go. Mark Holmes is going to slot back behind the Honda of Stu Neal. Tejas Kapkar into the pits. We had a situation where Tejas has dropped back to the pits for whatever reason. Martin De Gala will inherit. Where we've got Martin De Gala, there he is, 9th place, up past Stefan de Groot. Madden Gravel doing a good job there, and up in 8th place. Trev Hummer up to 6th place after starting 17th. We've got incident there. We've got a big incident there. There's a lot of drivers getting. Martin De Gala, our championship leader, down to 40. Down to what we're looking at, 12th place there. So Trev Hummer up in 6th. Justin Wellblow up into 5th. Steve Hilton 4th. Glenn Chesterton 3rd. Mark Holmes 2nd. Closely following all. Meanwhile, Stu Neal still leading, but not far behind the top 3 or top other 3 drivers there. With Steve Hilton trying to chase a podium here. Justin Wellblow also wanting that podium.
Yeah, we have the top 4 that are fairly close to each other, as we can see now. They're still holding their gap between them. Neil is a little bit in front of them, but nobody will get a chance to get anything here in T1 fairly clean. We had a little bit of problems behind in T1, and Martin Bukala was his 5th place. Now he's 11th, and we are seeing now Zanfrescu.
Stefan de Groot is a DNF, so for whatever reason Stefan de Groot has left the server, so we've lost a couple drivers already. Gary Van Binsbergen will inherit that place. Justin Wellblow, back of Trev Hammer now. The Toyotas fighting like mad here, but this is going to allow the American Madden Grell right behind them to catch up. So Justin's now going to have to try and fight his way around the outside, then to the inside of the hairpin. He's going to try and make the move against his Toyota, sorry, in the foreground there. Makes the move. So Trev Hammer's now going to chase the British driver there, as he is trying to follow closely. Tejas not far behind there. Sibrin Stoll also there, so we see Sibrin now.
Hammer is getting strong exit here, and he's
somehow
Hammer's
just absolutely minced.
But we're seeing Chesterton here with Hilton on his back, so top 4 will battle here to the end of the race. This will be excellent to see. they're still in the line. They're still. Oh, that was close. Yeah.
Mark
he
Holmes
dropped-
doesn't want to be a bridesmaid again to Stu Neal here. Definitely wants that win, and he's going to fight as hard as he can to get it. Glenn Chesterton still has a great opportunity here to take a race win on his debut. Here we go. Stu Neal though, and Steve Hilton is looking like he doesn't want to give him that opportunity. Glenn Chesterton now drops down to 4th place, but Mark Holmes has dropped off the back of Stu Neal. So Stu Neal, what has he put in that Honda? He is pulling away like mad, and even with the maximum amount of ballast, has not given up the opportunity to take the race 2 win.
Yeah, it seems like he got used a little bit on the track and how it is, and we are seeing now Hilton. Oh, that's a big bump for Chesterton behind him. Yeah, he needs, even with ballast, he's really strong on this race, and guys are really struggling to get with him, right? So, but we'll see. Now we have still 13 minutes up until the very end of the race, and basically we cannot predict how much are they pushing the tires. We'll see.
You're absolutely right there. There's a pole sitter, Eli Schwartz, down. Pole sitter in race 1, now down into 11th place after not a great race for him in race 1. But we've got Trev Hammer as well up into 5th place. Madden Grewell has had an accident. He's down into 14th place. Jamie Cullen not far behind him. Chris Callahan in 13th. Tedros in 12th. We're watching 11th place Eli Schwartz as he tries to make a move on championship leader Martin DeGala. So Martin DeGala is not having a great round here. He's got a lot to do to try and stop the American here. Round the outside goes the American. He tries a very deep lunge. He's going to get the switchback done. That is an impressive move. He pulls it off. An amazing drive through the first turn there. Looks like he may pull the move off here. We can't see though. Martin DeGala just about holds him back a little bit longer, and this is allowing Tedros to just close up to the back of the drivers here.
Don't forget, this is for the 10th place, like they're battling for the reverse grid position.
Absolutely right there. Obviously, we've got enough drivers here that the reverse grid position is going to be quite important. Obviously, you want to be in that top 10 to be within the chance of taking a reverse grid pole here. And obviously, Eli Schwartz knows that just about better than anyone. And he's going to push as hard as he can to get there.
Yeah, this will be excellent battle up to the end of the race. This is just excellent. As Eli is going outside, braking a lot harder, and he's going wide, but
contact Gap car has just pushed his way through there. And that wasn't a great. There we go. We can see here Trev Hammer and looks like Justin Wellblood just behind him. Of course, Glenn Chesterton. Glenn Chesterton now under attack. The Power Max racing car will be in a 5 Motorsport car soon, but currently in the Power Max racing car is now under attack from the AJR car. The Ginsus Toyota is not far behind there. Justin Wellblood in the Ginsus Toyota is also going to try and make his way through. So there we go, one car through. Glenn Chesterton's now going to try and fight back against the American. Looks like he's got a better run, so Glenn's now going to try and pull his way alongside and past the American. Is heavy on the brakes. Sue brakes past first. Looks like Trev's got the position done, and Justin's now going to look down the inside of turn 1 and towards turn 2 and 3 here. Gonna be done.
Well, is on the outside, and he.
Very good.
That was excellent. Now he'll hold it. Yeah.
He will hold it.
That was excellent.
Trev Hammer. Trev Hammer now looking for a podium. He knows that he has the opportunity here to catch the ever fast Steve Hilton and Mark Holmes. Mark Holmes and Steve Hilton are also having a little bit of a scrap there. This is allowing the Americans to close up. Meanwhile, Stu Neal seems to be on a race of his own a little bit here as he pulls away still from Mark Holmes. Stu Neal doing a great job in the USA Honda. Obviously the Nero Motorsports by brand of it. Obviously we can see the Halfords USA batteries. Honda pulling away here. Mark Holmes in the beautiful, I believe, a retro livery there for the Toyota, being followed by a retro Audi and obviously the AJR car of Trev Hammer. Trev Hammer now closing the gap ever so slightly. Eli Schwartz and Madden Grewell setting their personal best laps. So the Americans pushing as hard as they can to get the points here in the series.
And yeah, as you can see, Chesterton is on their back, and everybody is around 1 second off each other, half to 1 second. Still 9 minutes to go. It seems short, but with the amount of laps that you're doing in 9 minutes, there will be a lot of battles and a lot of late braking in T1.
You're absolutely right there, Adam. And as we can see Mark slowly catching the back again. So it's a case of how much can he catch. As you see, he sets his personal best lap, and it was quicker than Stu Neal's last lap. Trev Hummer is still on the back of these four, and not far behind is both of the drivers. Third and fourth lock up, and there we go. There's Justin. So Justin hasn't dropped off the back. So we've now got a five-way battle for the podium places as it's slowly forming up and looking to be a battle for those points there. And obviously all important for Trev Hummer. He'll want as many points as he can over where is our championship leader currently in Martin Degara. We can't actually see him on the board. So Martin Degara's had a situation where he's not actually on our boards currently. We'll have a quick look now as we jump to live timings of the race. So I don't believe he's in the race currently. I think he may have. So Martin Degara, our championship leader, is no longer in the server. So this is going to allow all these drivers to gain points over him. And more importantly, if he does come back for the next race, he's going to start at the back of the grid.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. He may disconnected or something happened. He was in the fight for the 10th placers. We see Santos locking up, chasing Zanfirescu at the front for the 7th position. But he's still too far away to do currently anything about it. But he needs to go and try to get a little bit more pace. But yeah, Zanfirescu got a little bit of problems there, and as we see the Alpha on the back.
So Luana,
and we're seeing
gone around the inside. She's gone down the inside, but she's locked up and she's thought better of it. She's gone, no, that's not the way I want the position, and she's backed off there. So Luana does drop back slightly there from Lucian as they go through the last turn. Justin Wellblow still on the back of Trev Hummer. So Trev Hummer needs to pull away from the ever quick Justin Wellblow here, as Justin will not give him a second moment's thought as to whether where or when he'll overtake. He will just go for it. So Trev needs to catch up with Steve as quick as he can and get that position on the podium, because Justin will not wait.
Oh,
as he gives a little bit of a love tap to the wall there.
That will not help him. Yeah, now big rolls again. We have the balance for the guys, but still is doing excellent job at the front. He's dropping a little bit, but not too much in this part of the race. But now we're 6 minutes in, and we'll see how they move the tires. Now it's the fun part.
Absolutely. Well, currently the fastest lap was set by Tejas in the Alpha in 10th place. They're currently sat on the cusp of the reverse random grid pole. Trev Hummer now down the inside of Steve Hilton. He looks to the inside. He seems to have held it. Whether Steve's going to get a better run through, it looks like he may still hold the position. We can't quite tell until they get to the braking zone. Alongside is the American. The American's going to go down the inside. Is it going to be a position gain for the American Trev Hummer? Trev Hummer's now under attack from Justin, so it's going to be 3 wide for the final podium. Pushes Justin a little bit wide, a little bit cheeky there from the American driver, but Justin does follow him through, so Justin's not going to have the inside line as well. Is Justin
braking?
Steve Hilton does drift and he holds it. Justin holds it around the outside. A brilliant save there from Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton just about holding that position. Tejas has gone up into 8th, no, drops down to 9th. Luana keeps the position over Tejas. There we go, Trev Hummer now fighting with Justin Wellblood for that final podium spot. 3 Toyotas in the top 4. The Honda seems to be pulling away here. Trev's going to try and hold the position, but Justin is not going to give up at all yet. And there we go, we see Trev being tailed not far behind Justin Wellblood. Not far behind is Steve Hill, and Glenn Chesterton still not far behind. So a situation like this, where we see it, very well saved by Trev Hummer. Once again, these drivers are giving each other no room at all, and it's going to be very, very difficult now, because Steve Hilton is going to lose out. Steve Hilton is going to win here compared to Justin Wellblood. Justin Wellblood's lost out, so Steve Hilton spins back toward the wall. There's a bit of a heavy impact there. It's going to allow Glenn Chesterton to close up. So all of a sudden, this final podium spot, anything can happen here. It's absolutely mad.
Yeah, definitely. As we spoke before, it's so unpredictable with these cars and with these drivers. I mean, we are seeing now Chesterton on the back of Hilton. He is good. I'm gonna try heavy braking on the inside, and
It looks like it could be a very
Nope,
good move
no,
here.
no.
Just about. Yes, he does. But again, Steve Hilton seems to have pulled alongside and then back in front of the Honda. New underwear for Mr. Hilton, please, indeed, as he slid just about and held it round the outside. Lucian Zanfarescu goes back.
A little bit of
Luana's been touched and she's back round as she's safely pulled off the side of the circuit there. So she's going to wait for anybody to come through. Eli Schwartz, her teammate, and Madden Grow will make it through. Though the Americans now up into 10th and 11th. Justin Welblove still on the back of Trev Hummer, not giving the American any time at all to breathe. Mark Holmes is still trying to catch the ever-quick Stu Neal. Stu Neal seems to be pulling away with it once again as we come into the last 4 minutes of the race. We can see that Justin Welblove sets his personal fastest lap there, a little bit quicker than Trev. So Trev is still just that little fraction slower than Justin, and Justin wants to make sure that he can get that podium.
But Holmes is losing pace. Hammer and Welblove will be on his tail in a lap, even maybe earlier. Something happened to him.
Oh, we have an accident again. Chris Fisher and Lucian Zanfarescu have had an accident there. I've seen it just come up there. There you go, Chris Fisher's backwards. So Chris Fisher backwards after an incident. So we're not quite sure what's happened to him there, but he's going to have to wait as somebody goes wide. A little bit of an internet glitch there as Jari van Binsbergen just seems to bounce around him. Tejas has spun as well, so Tejas have had a incident with Eli Schwartz there. Trev Hummer still being chased by Justin Welblove. Not far behind, you can see Steve Hilton not just trying to gain that gap back. So Eli Schwartz is in 9th place currently, with Luana, his teammate, in 10th.
Yeah, that was a good comeback from him. He's currently 9th, so basically in a good position to have a better grid position for the next race. So I think after everything he will be happy, but still he was that 8th place from Grival. He's getting closer. Oh, we see Santos going off.
Luana loses the position there to Tejas. So Tejas, I believe, still has the fastest lap of the race, but whatever's happened. There we go, that's somebody allowing all the truck cars through. I can't quite tell who that was. I believe that may have been a back marker there, just getting out of the way nice and easily. We'll have a quick look now. So we can see the leaders coming through to turn 1. It is Stefan Andrew Gaju who allowed them through. So very, very nicely done from him to allow them through. Luana Santos now in 11th place, losing the position to Tejas. But Trev Hummer's now on the back of Mark Holmes. So Mark Holmes has now got a fight with Trev for the more points. Obviously Mark wants to take the championship lead here. Trev Hummer does rotate the car a little bit better. He rotates it very well through there. Closes up right to the back of Mark Holmes. Obviously Trev has no ballast, so he's jumped from 17th up into the podium with no ballast, and he's now pushing as hard as he can to get past the ever quick, obviously the very quick Mark Holmes on his day. And Mark is defending with all his might here, but he knows that the cars behind him are going to be faster because they have no ballast.
Yeah, exactly, and yeah, we are seeing now Hammer getting on the side. Yeah, he has a lot more speed here, and now what he needs to do is do the excellent braking into the T1, and he's going very well, and he did the move that was excellent by Hammer, getting the 2nd position from Holmes. But yeah, as we spoke before, Holmes is still under fire, and well below can catch him in the last lap, right? We are already at the end of the race. That was a little bit of hit by Holmes, so well below will be on his tail very soon.
Big smack of the wall for both drivers there as they're trying to race for the final towards the white flag lap. So here we go. Stu Neal looks set to take a race 2-1 unless something happens here, and Trev Hummer can close 2 seconds in a lap, which is obviously as quick as he is. He's dropped from 17th to 2nd. He's gained over 15 places in this race. That one more seems to be a little bit out of reach here, but Mark Holmes has got to try and defend from Justin Welblove. But there we go, Stu Neal coming into turn 1, seems to have a very, very clean exit. Trev Hummer just needs to hold his line and try and pull away a little bit from Mark Holmes. He has a big enough gap to just, you know, keep it easy and don't race too hard. Just put in a decent lap. As we see Stu come through the chicane, the hardest bit of the circuit by far. We see Tejas going through. Madden Growell and Tejas, Lucian Zamfresco and Tejas Kapka have had an accident together. We can see the crash there has dropped them out of the reverse grid pole. Chris Callahan inherits 10th. Lucian and Tejas are going to fail to finish. So Tejas has now failed to finish. He's dropped out of the lobby, with Lucian now into the pits. So we see Stu Neal and Trev Hummer take P1 and 2. Mark Combs in 3rd place again, a podium for him. Justin Wellblood, a great race from him, into 4th place. Steve Hilton will be happy with 5th. Glenn will be a little bit upset with 6th place. Madden Gravel, a great redemption race for himself, in 7th place. Luana Santos beating out her teammate Eli Schwartz in 8th and 9th, and Chris Callahan will take that final reverse grid pole slot unless Sibrin can close a massive gap in time. No, he can't. Sibrin will come across the line 11th, Chris Fisher 12th, as we see everybody slowly finishing the race here. What a second race.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. I loved it. And guys at front did excellent jobs. Holmes couldn't hold the position, as I mentioned earlier, right? Ballast will take a toll on your tires, basically, and you must push to get ahead of the guys, maybe get a little bit of gap before tires give out, but he couldn't, but it's still respectable position, right? So it was excellent race, much better than first one.
You're absolutely right there, my friend. So as we see the race order come in, Stu Neal and Trev Hummer in P1 and 2, followed by, as we wait for the results to finally finish coming through, obviously we will maybe have penalties. Obviously track cut info will cause penalties. So as we wait, we'll have a quick talk about obviously the race 3, which is a reverse grid pole. Interestingly, it will be so we've just had the Pro Lobby reverse grid draw come out. Number 10, Cameron Fife, is on pole position, so it's a full reverse grid order. So, and I don't believe Toby is coming in to join us. So we see that number 10, Cameron Fife, is on pole. That will allow a full flip of the top 10. We'll wait for the results for the second reverse grid. We're going to have a quick look for our results from race 2, if we can find them. There we go. So race 2, we had Johnny Seville will start 10th, with Matt Dorrington 9th, Cohen de Groot 8th, Mark Pimlott 7th, Stephen Haley 5th, Aaron Large in 4th, Roy Grassi in 3rd, I'm reading that wrong. We'll go the right way around. Cameron Fife on pole is the most important thing, with Dave Russell alongside him. Regan Mitchell will be behind him with Roy Grassi. Aaron Large and Stephen Haley will be on the row behind, with Mark Pimlott, Cohen de Groot in 7th and 8th, 9th and 10th will be Matt Dorrington, our 2nd place from race 1 and 2, and Johnny Seville in 10th place, our race winner from race 1 and 2. That allows David Moll and Andrew Ford to keep their positions of 11th and 12th. So as we wait for the lobby to form up, we can obviously let you know about some of the other races that do go on here. Obviously we have the GT Leagues with Simsport, some of the most brilliant races I've seen by far. As you can see there, a beautiful GT3 announcement there, some beautiful races there. I believe we are past Mazzano, and the next race will be Snetterton next weekend, 90 minutes, once again hosted by Simsport. And as you can see, the calendar here for the BTCC, the next one out at Silverstone, a brilliant race circuit. I believe it will be the International Loop, which is an amazing track. I've been there a few times myself to witness some amazing racing, and I can tell you it will be a spectacle to see. You do not want to miss. So here we go, the lobby has been formed up. I'm not quite sure how long there is left to go between now and the race. 1 minute 40, I've been informed, so it shouldn't be too bad and shouldn't be too long before we see these guys fire off. Again, Cameron Fife on the pole, next to him his teammate Dave Russell, Regan Mitchell in 3rd there in the Simsport car, a beautiful orange, black and white livery there. AJR Motorsports Scottish driver Roy Grassi in 4th place, with Aaron Large in 5th. There we go, Stephen Haley just behind him, if you can see him just behind the logos. in 6th place, with Mark Pimlott just behind him in 7th. Cohen de Groot in the beautiful green Alfa Romeo there in 8th place. Matt Dorrington in the other AJR car of this lobby in 9th. Johnny Seville in the beautiful, unmistakable colours of Pulse Simsport in 10th. And David Moll and Andrew Ford round out our drivers. So, any predictions for this race, Adam?
Oh, this will be hard. I think David Russell will battle a lot with Cameron, and Regan Grassi is also on their back, so we'll see. Steve Haley also has a good chance to get a podium, and if not the win. They're all fast drivers, and I'm excited to see what's happening.
Absolutely, as am I. So as we wait for this race to go live, we are absolutely looking forward to it. We've got a countdown of just about 23 seconds to go as we wait for all the drivers to come out. Obviously, Miles Dixon seems to be in the lobby. Whether he is actually in the race, oh, he is. So we will have Miles Dixon on the grid. So Miles Dixon has joined us for the last race here. So as we see the lights come on, we get ready to go. There we go, all 6 lights are on. And like that, they're off. And that was a poor start there from our pole sitter, Cameron Fife. Looks like Regan Mitchell's going to try and pull alongside the Cameron Fife Motorsport cars. Doesn't look like he can. Dave Russell does take the position of his teammate. So Regan Mitchell does take the position there. A little bit of contact in the background, but nothing untoward. Looks like everybody makes it through fairly cleanly there. There's the second Pulse driver of Miles Dixon in the background. So we see a small number of incidents coming up on the timing screen there. A little bit of contact, but David, there we go. It's the biggest winner there currently, Dave Russell, who's just, there we go, big contact between Saf and the group. Johnny Seville's been caught up in the incident as well. This has allowed Matt Dorrington to go through. Meanwhile, Jonathan Seville is going to have to try and fight his way through even more than his rival there. So Miles Dixon up into 8th place. David Moll fighting alongside him. David Moll's been pushed wide. It looks like Miles will go through. Mark Pimlott just in front of him there.
Yeah, we'll see top 3 at 0.2 seconds behind each other, right? So, and we're trying to get in. The Russell goes wide and he turns it. Oh no, that's...
So Aaron Large loses out in that situation there. Three Hondas now through. Matt Dorrington up into 4th place, so keeping it clean throughout the first 2 laps has paid off massively for the AJR driver, who is now up into 4th place behind 3 Hondas. So we've got a different race leader so far, and it looks like we may get a different race winner, as Jonathan Seville's down in 11th place and hasn't made up any positions. In fact, he's lost a position in all of this.
Yeah, this was a little bit chaotic, but still they're keeping it mostly clean, and yeah, nobody got turned, luckily, right? So everybody got straightened out, and we're just continuing, right? But as we can see, the top 4 is really close. Regan Mitchell will not give any room to David Russell, right? Same as Dorrington to Haley. We're still not seeing yet.
You're absolutely right there.
Right? We're seeing 3 wide in T1. Woo! There, come on, guys.
Johnny Seville amazing racing there from all the drivers. But at the front, here we go. Stephen Haley is catching the back of his teammate Regan Mitchell, who is still not giving any breathing room to our race leader Dave Russell. Dave Russell is doing as hard as he can, or racing as hard as he can, sorry, to allow himself the opportunity to take a race victory here.
Yeah, that was so good. I sounded like Prince, so yeah.
There we go, a little bit of contact between the drivers. They all missed the braking point. So this has allowed Matt Dorrington to now close up. So we've now got a 4-way fight for the race lead here. Dorrington obviously with the extra ballast as well. So you've got to bear in mind that these drivers, the 3 drivers in front, have little to no ballast. Meanwhile, Matt Dorrington, who has loads of ballast, is still right on the back of them, and he's gaining more. And in fact, he sets the fastest lap of the race. So he's now going to look around the outside, and then going to cut back to the inside as we see Mark Pimlott being overtaken there by David Moll. David Moll is following Miles Dixon. So Miles Dixon, missing first 2 races, has come back in and is currently sat in 5th place. He'll be pretty happy with that, and all this fighting is going to allow him to try and take a win.
Excellent move by Regan Mitchell from the inside. That was beautiful to see. But he is now on the fire with David Russell and Haley. Haley is going on the inside, and
Simsport drivers are looking for a 1 and 2 here. I don't believe there's been a 1-2 position here at all yet this season, so we're going to see how that goes. Stephen Haley's going down the inside there. It looks like he's going to make the position. Matt Dorrington is going to close up behind him. He's going to look down the outside. Stephen Haley's 10 from him. Miles Dixon sets the fastest lap of below 55 seconds. It was a rapid lap there from Miles Dixon. Miles Dixon definitely looks like he could take a race win here. Matt Dorrington goes down the inside, sees the opportunity, just tries to go around Dave Russell. Dave Russell's going to have a little bit more traction through. So here we go. We're going to see who does come out on top here. Going to be Dave Russell, but Dave Russell is not going to have any breathing space. He's now got an Audi and a Toyota Aventus behind him. And there's going to be a lot of fighting here for the final podium position. And this is allowing Dave Moll, who smacks the wall, followed by Mark Pimlott, Aaron Large, Cohen de Groot. You can see the other other Pulse driver there in the background, Jonathan Seville. Jonathan goes down the inside. Miles Dixon's going to get the better run though, so Miles is going to win throughout all of this. Miles Dixon seems to have won it out. He has indeed, so Miles Dixon now takes the podium position away from Matt Dorrington. So Matt Dorrington does all the hard work, and then Miles goes, oh thank you, I'll take that position, and goes through.
He did very well there, but he's on the hunt for the podium win, as I can see. And we are seeing now them side by side going outside, but Miles will take that place. Excellent move, excellent battle from those guys, but Mitchell and Haley now need to work together to stop Dixon's
making a very quick charge.
Oh, as I said, it's a little bit of commentator. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, bro. Yeah, so Cameron 5 now in the pit lane. So something's happened to our our race 3 pole sitter. He's now in the pit lane. So whatever's happened to him is an unfortunate situation. He's now in the pit lane. Roy Grassi overtakes Cohen de Groot. Jonathan Seville hasn't made any positions. He's still sat down in 11th place.
Yeah, that is all. I guess he doesn't have the pace for this one, but as you can see at behind, it's a great battle from everything. He's now going into it, and on the inside, and a little bit of hit there, still all good, and he made the move. Will he stick to it? They're side by side still, and Large is that's not Large. Sorry, the Groot is. Yeah, he's holding the position, as we can see at the front. Grassi and Moll battling all around the great battles, but this may be the problem, right, for Seville. He's battling with all those guys. He's going on the inside. Oh, that was close. Going on the outside, and he got the position.
There we go. He does get the position.
He's very aggressive now. He's trying. He maybe saved the tires a little bit, right, for the second part of the race.
He may absolutely be saving the tyres for the second half of the race. You're absolutely right there. Stephen Haley sets a personal fastest lap. Miles Dixon once again goes fastest with 54.8. So he's going to try and catch the back of the two DMA Simsport cars. So you can see him in the foreground there, just going through past turn 1. And there's contact with Seville, and that looks like Aaron Large is going to lose out massively there. As Jonathan Seville goes up into 9th place, Miles Dixon in 3rd place, still being chased down by Matt Dorrington. Matt Dorrington giving no room to the Pulse Simsport driver, so even with the extra ballast, Matt Dorrington still trying to catch up to Miles Dixon. But more importantly, this may be the first time we see Matt Dorrington off the podium.
Yeah, that is interesting, but Miles Dixon is on fire currently. He's a Mad Max of Norsring, right? So currently Mitchell is fairly in front, but Miles is getting closer to Haley, and soon we will see the battle for second. I mean, Donington is not too far. He is keeping the pace with the guys, so maybe he will wait and see how battle in front transpires, right? Maybe he can get 2 positions out of it. He will stay close, right, and see what happens.
You're absolutely right there, Adam. As you can see, they're all coming through the chicane now. It looks fairly clean so far. There's a little bit of a gap between each of the drivers, but as you can see, each of those gaps are slowly closing. And you can see just in the background there, we've got a still battle going on for 6th place there with Pimlott, Moll and Grassi. So Miles Dixon in 3rd currently, trying to chase down Stephen Haley and Regan Mitchell of the DMA Simsport team. Jonathan Seville, our race 1 and race 2 winner for the Pro Lobby, currently in 9th, being chased down by Andrew Schwartz. The Honda seems to be able to keep up quite nicely with Jonathan Seville in the Audi as he pushes through into the what looks to be a lap 9 of what looks to probably be about 18 or 19 laps. Roy Grass is still trying to chase the back of David Moll, the German. He looks down the inside, it's going to be a very good move if he makes the move. Tries it, thinks about it, just about doesn't make the move. It's a very close move, and if he had pulled it off, I think I'd have been very impressed.
That was dangerous move. I'm glad that he backed off. That was really close. He was on the brakes way too late, but all went well. That was good to see.
You're absolutely right there. So Miles Dixon hasn't actually gained any time on Regan or Stephen. So Miles has pushed so hard in the first few laps that I think his tyres have absolutely sort of detonated. You can see now 55.108, 51.17, 55.2. So he's losing time to the cars in front. Matt Dorrington, in fact, was faster than him last lap. So even with all the ballast in Matt Dorrington's car, Miles is definitely having an issue there. Miles looks to be having an issue with his tyres.
Don't forget that he was battling through the field from the last position, so that takes a toll on the tires. Now, in the last 8 minutes, as you saw on T1, basically you can see that he's starting to struggle with them.
Absolutely, he seems to be struggling a little bit with those tyres. So as we see the Pulse Simsport driver trying to just gain any time he can over the DMA Simsport cars. He's still not been able to shake the tail. That is Matt Dorrington. Matt Dorrington does gain a little bit of time here. Roy Grassi goes down the inside of David Moll meanwhile, and he looks like he's finally made the move on the German. The German seems to have conceded the place there to the Scotsman. 168. It was a very clean move there by the Scotsman, but the German's going to come back at him. David Moll does not want to give up the position at all. He looks like he's going to pull alongside the Avensis. So the Alpha just about alongside. Is he going to be able to make a move at all? No, he's not.
Yeah, that was great, the defensive driving by Grassi, but Moll is still not getting off. That is not letting him off that easy, right? He will attack again as soon as he can. As you can see, he's on his slipstream and gaining on him fairly quickly. As we are seeing, Steve Haley is getting on Regan Mitchell at the top.
Absolutely. You're right there. So you can see Regan Mitchell is losing a bit of time to his teammate there. The last lap was actually fastest. We'll see how they see when they come, how fast they are when they come across the line. So they come across the line, and 4/10 was the time that Stephen Haley gained over Regan Mitchell in that last lap. So the last lap seemed to be something wrong with Regan Mitchell's car. So whether he's going to fix it in time before the end of before he gets caught is yet to be seen. Looks like they were fairly quick. In fact, Regan Mitchell was quicker than him in sector 1. Roy Grassi once again back down the inside of David Moll. David Moll isn't giving up that battle just yet. Matt Dorrington is trying as hard as he can to catch the back of Miles Dixon. Miles Dixon seems to be pretty much comfortable there. In fact, almost identical gaps between second, third and fourth there. And Stephen Haley now right on the back of his teammates. So Regan's got a situation here. Regan is very slow here. In fact, he was 5/10 slower than his teammate through the second sector. That's allowed Stephen to catch right up to the back of him. And obviously, if he loses another 5/10 to him, it could mean the difference between him winning or losing the race.
Yeah, definitely, but I'm not sure what the problem is. Maybe he slowed down a little bit just to ease off of his tires or something. He does look like he's fairly slow, but I think he's keeping up. The problem is now, if they are teammates, so they need to figure out if he's too slow to get the win, and he needs to let Mr. Haley through, right? Because Miles Dixon is bringing on their back, same as Dorrington, so they don't need to battle too much.
You're absolutely right there. I mean, team orders could be a thing, but at the same time, obviously they may both want that win, because obviously while there is a team's championship, there is also the question of the solo championship, and which one do they want more? And that's the big question. As we come across the line to start lap number 14, you can see that the times once again, Stephen Haley is faster than his teammate, and it's still closing up rapidly, so he looks like they are going to race each other here. There's no team orders at play here. He's just going to race him and see who comes out on top.
Yeah, as I was saying, the Regan was only 2/10 of Haley, so that's better than last lap. Something happened, maybe he went wide somewhere, lost sometimes, but I think he's recovering. Miles Dixon, on the other hand, isn't coming close, and even with this fight, right? So yeah, we still have 4 minutes or 6 laps before the end of the race, right? So we'll see. Still really interesting to see what these two guys will do.
Absolutely. Well, I'm pretty sure we've never had two Hondas at the front of the podium, and obviously it's still it could still change yet, but currently DMA Simsport Racing still P1 and 2 with the Pulse Simsport car of Miles Dixon closing down fast. Matt Dorrington seems to have developed a gap between himself and Miles. So
yeah, David Russell is on the fire by Pimot and Gracie, right? And this will be interesting. He may have golden tires. He wasn't at the front and a little bit having the problems and misfortunes at the start, but he is now greatly at the risk of losing 5th position. He will definitely defend as much as he can, but Gracie and Pimot are right on his tail.
You're absolutely right there, my friend. As we can see, Dave Russell now being chased by Mark Pinmont in the RSK Motorsport car, followed by the AGR Simsport car of Roy Grassi. Not far behind is Jonathan Seville and Dave Moll. Jonathan Seville obviously wanting to gain as many points as he can towards Matt Dorrington, obviously gaining more points than Matt Dorrington in the first 2 rounds, but also this is a massive gap that he'll lose to Matt Dorrington. Obviously the championship leader needing as many points as he can to keep a nice gap between himself and the rest of the field. We can see now Roy looks like Jonathan Seville has gone round the inside of David Moll. We're going to see where they come out. David Moll looks like there's a bit of contact in the background there. It does come up on the data that they're doing. There we go. They come back out with Jonathan Seville in front. So there'll be a few stewards inquiries from this race. Not as many as there were last time. But Miles Dixon has now closed up to the back of.
Here we go.
Haley is now going to have to defend from the Pulse Simsport driver who missed out race 1 and 2. I believe he was actually at his own. He was at his RC Racing League today, so he's come away from his RC Racing League with a win. He's trying to get the win here in the 3rd round of the Virtual Touring Car Cup in race 3 at the Norsring. You can see 1 minute and 50 seconds to go. You can see Stephen Haley working as hard as he can to catch his teammate, and then also defend from Miles Dixon. Meanwhile, Matt Dorrington has dropped off back to 2 seconds. So we're going to see if we see these guys battle. It could allow the Toyota Events AJR car to catch up to the back and obviously keep his record of being on the podium in every race so far this season.
If something happens with this, but the point is, right, so it can happen. Dixon is on the back of Haley, and he will try everything, trying probably be most respectful as he can, but you know, sometimes accidents happen and Donington still can finish on podium, right? We still have 2 laps to go and anything can happen. Whilst here we're seeing Dixon going a little bit wide there, but he's still closing a little bit of better with his and now we're seeing Pinmot with Gracie and Russell still battling for the 5th position. David Russell is really doing a good job defending his 5th position in these last few laps.
You're absolutely right there as we come back towards the lead battle. The lead battle now we go with the Miles Dixon's going to look down the outside. He's going to try and do a little bit of a switch back here. He's going to try to hold the outside line, cut towards the inside. He gets a very good exit out of the turn. He's right on the back of Stephen Haley. Stephen Haley had to go defensive there. So Miles Dixon is going to look for a move now. He's going to try and make the position on Stephen Haley. Final lap here. We just got the white flag lap confirmation. Here we go. Stephen Haley now trying to defend from Miles Dixon. Miles Dixon looks down the outside. Tries to switch back. He does look for the switch back. He tags the back of the Honda. Honda still stays straight though as they come through towards the chicane. Miles is going to push as much as he can to get past the DMA Simsport driver. All he's got to do is hold on for a few more corners yet, and it looks like he may well do, as Miles Dixon still tries to upset this 1-2 as much as he can. He's being a big nuisance like Verstappen would be to the Mercedes cars. He's being pushed as wide as he can. Stephen Haley pushing him to the complete other end of the circuit. It isn't going to be enough though, as Miles Dixon's now going to look down the inside. He should have a better run through the final corner, so we'll see Regan Mitchell take the win, but we're going to see whether Miles Dixon or Stephen Haley can cross the line first. It's going to be a drag race between the Honda and the Audi as we come across the line. It's going to be Regan Mitchell to take race 3 win. It's going to be Stephen Haley in second, 0.065 seconds behind is Miles Dixon. A great race from these two in the last lap. Matt Dorrington in 4th place, Roy Grassi coming towards the line in 5th place. He finally got past Dave Russell, so after a great defence, Dave Russell does lose out to him. Mark Pimlott in 7th place, Jonathan Seville in 8th place, 9th place for David Moore, Andrew Ford in 10th, Aaron Large in 11th, and Curtin de Groot finishing our top 12 runners. Obviously, we did have Cameron Fyfe, but he did retire after 4 laps. What a final race.
Yeah, that was excellent to see. Up until the last meter of the race, they're battling for second position. That was awesome drive by Simsport guys, and Miles Dixon, who did an excellent job coming from the back of the grid.
You're absolutely right there, and more importantly, that's the first. I believe that is the first 1-2 we've had for any lobby, for any team. So we'll have a small break there as we conclude the pro lobby, and we will be right back soon. Welcome back to the Virtual Racing Car Cup. Virtual Touring Car Cup, I do apologise, with Simsport Racing, Go Bobby and Grid Finder. You're joining myself, Adam Bent, and Adam Azailovic as we look forward to the final race of the evening, the Pro-Am Race 3. Are you looking forward to this, Adam?
Oh yeah, if it's as the last race we saw it at Pro Class, this will be beautiful to watch. It will be probably fairly similar. It's the last race of the day, and it's reverse grid, so we'll see what the faster guys are doing from the what will they do from the back of the grid.
You're absolutely right there. Well, I can confirm now that Luana Santos has got the reverse grid pole. Madden Gravel in second with Glenn Chesterton getting another opportunity in P3 there. Justin Wellblove is currently 5th, which means we're waiting for, I'm not quite sure who that will be. I'm going to have a quick look now who finished ahead of Justin. It would be Mark Holmes. So Mark Holmes will be sat there, I believe. Oh no, sorry, we've lost another driver there. So a few drivers struggling to get in, so it will be, Steve, I believe Steve Hilton, I do apologise, it's Steve Hilton who will slot in front of Justin Wellblove. Trev Hummer currently taking up 5th, but will be 6th, with Stu Neal 7th, and Eli Schwartz in 8th. Chris Callahan in 9th place, I believe, with Sibrin Stoll in 10th, Chris Fisher, Jari van Binsberg, and Jamie Cullum, Tejas Kapkar, Stefan Gaju, Martin de Gala, and Stefan de Groot. But we do have some other drivers as well, as I wait for these. I can have a quick look at the live timings to wait for everybody to jump in. We still have another minute left There we go, everybody is in, so I can now read off the official grid order with Luana Santos on pole, Madden Gravel in second. The BMW kind of have an amazing start. Watch it off the line. It is an absolute rapid machine. Glenn Chesterton in third, another opportunity for him to get a podium today with Justin Webber in fourth, Mark Holmes fifth place. Trev Hammer in sixth place with Stu Neal and Eli Schwartz. Chris Callahan and Sibren Stoll in 10th place. Chris Fisher in 12th place. Sibren Stoll in 11th place. Chris Fisher in 12th place with Jari van Binsbergen and Jamie Cullum in 13th and 14th. Tejas Kapkar in 15th with Stefan Gajdu next to him in 16th. I believe we also have two other drivers there of Martin de Gala and Stefan de Groot in the background. So, any predictions for this race?
We'll see. Luana Santos has a great place for it, but if she keeps it, that may be a great podium or even win, right? But she has Grevalo, Justin, Hilton, Velbo, Holmes, Hammer, all Neil, right? All those names, Schwartz also. So all those people will go and
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut you off as we see the lights come on. And they go off, and we see a really great start there from Madden Gravel. Gravel gets straight away into the lead. The BMW obviously having the superior traction with the rear wheel drive off the line. Luana slots in just behind him in second place there. So Madden has an opportunity. She goes down the inside, ends it straight away. A little bit of contact in the background as we see. Oh, Justin has been spun. We see a few people off there. Tejas Kapkar. Everybody slots into position, but Luana sends an amazing dive up the inside of Madden Gravel. Gravel drops down to 5th place, so not seeing Luana up the inside, Madden has lost out massively, but Steve Hilton is now in second place with Glenn Chesterton third, Madden Gravel fourth. Trev Hammer takes his American compatriot there into fourth place. They're still fighting for the position as Mark Holmes is slotting in between the two Americans. Going to try and make a move around as that looks like the SGS Games car of Sibren Stoll also trying to enjoy the party. So we've got Mark Holmes in 6th place with Sibren Stoll just behind Justin Webber in 8th place, Stefan Group 9th place. So they're all nose to tail here as they try and slot around. There's a weaving all around the place, so we could see a small accident if they're not careful. There we go, Stefan the Group's going to send one. He's gone into the wall, so that's not worked out. We've got a massive crash once again. There's a huge crash in the background as we see Trev Hammer now being sent into the wall. So Trev Hammer now drops down. Stefan Gajdu in the background also having a small accident there. So Justin Webber also losing out massively. Luana Santos, meanwhile, it was Steve Hilton and Glenn Chesterton all running away here. So the first, I believe, we had Alice, I forget her last name, but Alice was in last season and who was very, very quick. We now have our first female leader in this season of Virtual Touring Car Cup with Simsport Racing International. Go Bobby and Gridfinder as we see them all coming through now. Madden Gravel in 5th place after starting second is not a great start for him. Meanwhile, we've lost Trev Hammer down to 13th place. So meanwhile, we've got to try and have a look for Martin de Gala. Martin de Gala is 16th place, so our championship leader is still quite far down the order as we see Jari van Binsbergen racing his teammate here for position. So Stefan de Groot goes down the inside, I believe, of Jari van Binsbergen. They're fighting each other, so we can't see where. We'll see where they end up. Tejas loses a position to Trev. Meanwhile, we're watching Steve Hilton try and chase Luana behind, and Glenn Chester not far behind. So these guys have all got out of the way of the incident. Sibren Stoll not far behind, Madden Gravel not far behind him. So if these guys can just race with each other and not fight each other too hard until towards the end, they will obviously pull away and potentially take the podium as this is.
Yeah, but will they do it, right? So Hilton wants to, but let's see what's going on here. Well,
Eli Schwartz goes down the inside of the line. He holds it, doesn't hold it. Where is he? We can't see him. He's not appeared in the background, so he's had an accident there. He's half spun. There's Martin de Gala. So Martin de Gala is trying to catch up to the back of what looks like an AJR car of Trev Hammer. Justin Wellblove and Trev are fighting once again. So once again, our podium in Pro-Am is never certain, and that's the greatest thing about this racing. You know, we see the pro guys and we see how fast they are, but the absolute amazing racing. There we go, Alice Hughes, thank you for the reminder. Racing Dad, I do apologise.
Whoa, a little bit of touch there between Valbeno and Hammer. They're still battling. Hammer has the inside, a little bit of touch, and yeah, Valbeno always. Oh, we have.
Oh, we've got Trev Hammer in the background spinning. does catch Martin Degar, so the two championship runners. Oh, we see a little bit of contact there between Trev. Doesn't hold the brakes, and he just claps the back of Martin Degar. There we go. Steve Hilton still trying to catch the back of Luana Santos. Luana seems to be actually holding a really nice pace here, so she's just got to keep it steady, and she may take a race win here. Steve Hilton still trying to chase down the back. Glenn Chesterton not far behind, so it's still up for grabs for him. So the new guys seem to be showing the veterans of this series how it's done, with Steve Hilton, the only real proper veteran in this series, trying to catch the back of Luana Santos.
Whoa, that was close to the wall, but yeah, she's getting doing an awesome job here, not doing too much mistakes, and really good, as we are seeing Hilton is getting closer and closer, but she will not give up her maybe first podium here in BTCC that easily, I'm sure of it.
Absolutely not. I would never want to give up my first podium in any championship, let alone one that's as well 4 seasons in now, so absolutely a prestigious position to be in. Leading in your first season is absolutely great achievement, especially for a newcomer in a touring car league that is so competitive. We see Steve Hilton though still trying to catch the back. He jumps over the grass a little bit. He's going to lose a little bit of time there into this chicane, but it allows him to close actually quite nicely. There you go, he gets right onto the back of her once again. Glenn Chesterton still not far behind, Cyprian Stoll not far behind either, Madden Gravel not far behind him, Stefan de Groot, there you see Stefan de Groot, Mark Holmes and Jai Rummelsbergen. Tejas Kapkar's not far behind. Stu Neal, our race 1 and 2 winner, in 10th place, so he's lost out massively there. Obviously starting 8th and now currently in 10th. We can see Trev Hammond and Mark Degala, our championship leaders, no less, further back. Again, obviously, if you like everything that you see, we've got a race in 2 weeks' time at Silverstone, and this will be just as interesting and exciting as we see here. Jari van Binsberg and Super Stoll setting the fastest lap overall at 55.5, so not far off the fastest laps here of the pro guys. And again, these drivers are fighting just as hard as pro guys can, as we see him go down. Tejas then sets the fastest lap again, so he's a very quick driver, Tejas. He's just got to try and find a position to get back towards the front of the grid. So Chris Fisher there of Fisher Motorsport trying to overtake Chris Callahan, and obviously Justin Webber not far behind with Eli Schwartz, the American. So more interestingly, we've had 2 newcomers on the polls today as well.
Yeah, and that's what makes this interesting, right? So you can be a veteran, but with the unpredictability of all these balance, right, and reverse grids, basically you cannot predict who will be on top. As we spoke before, Luana Santos have a great deal of work in front of her, but she's doing very well, as we are seeing Hilton getting a really nice exit from but slotting back behind her. As we are seeing Fisher, and that's Callahan, right? He's going in front. Fisher has gone too wide, but he now needs to go, and he's still battling. They start side by side. As we're going back to Hilton and Santos, and he's going on the inside.
No contact there. It's very well done. As they come through, I think Steve should have a better line, but it looks like Luana's not going to give up without a fight. She does get the better run out of the corner. She's really wide, so she's going to try and out-drag him towards turn 1. Obviously, there you go. She's coming across a little bit to defend. She doesn't cause any contact, which is really good between them. So they're both going to now race into turn 1. She gets better on the brakes, but she's going to dive a little bit deep. Deep's going to go down the inside, but she's not going to give up. She's going to look for a switchback move here. You can see her just on the tail of Steve, so she's going to try and follow him through. Glenn's caught up, Sibrin's caught up, Madden Gravel's not far behind, so we're going to see a little bit of a battle here form. It could be a really close race here between Luana and Steve as we go through into the last 9 minutes, towards the last 9 minutes of the race. We're halfway through, and it's still anybody's game between these top 3, with becoming slowly the top 4.
Yeah, we are still not. We are still far from over, and basically Luana can do a lot of things here to help her get that position back. But that was an excellent move by Hilton. He was doing whatever he can, and as you can see, he's pulling best laps, right? So he now can have a clean air. Oh, everybody got a lock up there a little bit, and
There we go.
Christian Stoll got. Oh no!
Pushes, gets pushed into the wall by Glyn Chesterton. Glyn Chesterton trying to defend. It was a little bit of argy-bargy there between Sibrin and Glyn, but Glyn does have to end up conceding the position to the Monster Energy car with birthday cakes on the side. I believe it must have been his birthday this week, or at some point, maybe it is today. If so, happy birthday to Sibrin Stoll. But yeah, interesting way to get through into third place.
Yeah, that was a little bit more aggressive than we wanted. But oh, we're
Eli Schwartz and Callahan had an accident there. There goes Martin DeGala. Where's Trev Hummer? We're going to see. We won't see him go through, but he may well go through. We can see Eli giving the position back to Chris. So possibly an accident there, and just good respect there from Eli, the American, just to allow Chris Callahan back through. So Steve Hilton now trying to run away with it. He did win a race last season at Alton Park in the Astra TCR car on Project Cars 2. A very hard car to drive. Again, the Audi is not the easiest car to drive, especially with the ability to lock it up so easily. So he's running really, really well here. Obviously not the fastest lap at all, but again, a consistent pace.
Yeah, but Stoll is getting quicker. He had the best lap out of all top 3 contenders, right? So yeah, as you can see, he went a little bit deep there, but it's all good. He's catching to Santos and Hilton, as we're seeing. Oh, we need to do this one.
Jari van Binsbergen being chased by Tejas Kankar here. So Jari, the Dutch driver of the Big Logo Racing team, he's trying to chase down his teammate of Stefan de Groot. Meanwhile, being chased by another alpha of Tejas. Tejas with his headlights on, letting him know and weaving around everywhere to let him know, let Jari know that he's there. And he's going to throw one up the inside. A little bit of contact. He's sent it and he's made the position. So not only has he sent it, he's made the position on the Big Logo Racing car. Jari's not going to be happy about that. He's probably swearing right now, thinking how has he gone through? But honestly, that's an amazing move there. Send of the weekend. Luana's now back on the back of Steve, so Steve's now going to have to defend. She's gone for a send. She's going to look down the inside, followed by Sibrin Stoll. So she's now going to send one. She's made the move.
Excellent.
I think she's made it through, so we're getting 2 sends for the price of 1 here as she goes through back into the lead. We've got Tejas, who's had a small accident there, so something's happened to Tejas. Tejas has spun at the hairpin. I've just been told by the broadcaster that we've had a small spin at the hairpin, but Luana's gone back. Now Steve's going to send one up the inside. So we've got 2 hairpins, and they're absolutely being used. There's a little bit of contact there. There's more contact to Luana there. That's a bit unfortunate. It's a bit too wide from Sibrin, and he does push her wide. But she's still in the podium places, and what a great move, though, from her to retake that lead for a brief moment.
Yeah, that was excellent, but Stoll had the 2nd position, so yeah, that was excellent for him, and he's now he's now on the
and another send as he looks down the inside.
Yeah, he's on the run. He's so fast.
Mad. And we love to see it. The last race, they know just how much they want this win. You know, the 2 championship leaders are nowhere to be seen. Martin DeGala in 13th, Trev Hummer in 16th. They're miles away. This is allowing all these drivers here a great opportunity to take a podium, take a race win. Steve Hilton is still going to try and fight as hard as he can. Sibrin, I'm not sure if he's had a win yet in the BTCC.
That's big, look.
I'm certain he's not had one this season, so he's definitely going to want this thing more than anybody else, and that's the question, who wants this more? Steve is going to push as hard as he can to hold these 2 drivers off. Luana is absolutely within her right to try and take that position back, and she's going to fight as hard as she can to take it, but Sibrin knows damn well that she's a good driver, and he is not going to be able to underestimate her, but he's going to try and overtake Steve before this next corner by the looks of it.
Yeah, but don't forget Luana.
There's another send.
There is a send.
Oh, he looks down the inside.
Side by side, and they're going. Yes, Hilton is still at front, but this is a good.
But he's pushed him wide enough that's allowed Sibrin up the inside. So Sibrin's now going to have the inside line. Unless Steve can come across and cover it, he's going to drift him off a little bit. There you go. They're going to come side by side. Who's going to break latest here? It's going to be the battle of the late breakers. Late breakers indeed. Oh. There goes Luana. Luana throws one. Absolutely throws one to get onto the back of these 2. And she's done it as well. So not only has she lost to the back of them, they both tried to late break. Luana went, hold my beer, and almost went through on both of them.
Yeah, that was excellent to see, and luckily they didn't get spun in that little bit of spin. And we're seeing
There we go.
Gravel and the
Stefan de
Gravel is
Groot.
going on the outside. That
Madden
is
Gravel
a
goes back
beautiful
through.
moment.
So Silverstone now takes the race lead. So Sibrin's gone through to the race lead. Steve Hilton's still right there. 4 minutes left to go. These three don't want to give us any breathing space. Any breathing space to themselves, any breathing space to the commentators. And there's Glenn. So Glenn could, if these guys all take each other out, Glenn's just going to come sauntering on through and take the race win. So these guys are fighting as hard as they can for this win, but forgetting that how many drivers are behind them. You can see them all in the background. Easily could try and take a race win. His Luana goes back down the inside. She doesn't make the move, but it's correct. Oh, a little bit of contact there, but there's nothing untoward, I wouldn't say. So there we go. So in fact, it came out as an environment crash. There we go. Luana's gone down the inside, but she's gonna lose out here in the switchback move. Steve Hilton's gonna take the switchback move. So Sibrin's now going to be able to pull away. So these two need to stop fighting and remember that they've got a position to gain, and it's Sibrin, and Sibrin's going to run away with this. It could be his first race win of the season. It's an amazing race opportunity here for him.
It's a great move by Luana in the last corner. That was excellent, but still now Hilton is on there side by side, right?
They're back side by side. She's made the move again. So she's now gone back through. Oh no! Oh no! No contact between the two of the race podium sitters. There we go. I told you Glenn would just go straight through. He doesn't care. He's not going to wait around for them.
Yeah, that was unfortunate to see, but yeah. No,
Madden Gravel's now sending one. So yeah. So after what a great race,
a little bit of spin there.
A little bit too hard into the turn there. But Luana, after fighting so hard for that podium, is potentially going to lose out to no fault of her own. We're going to have to look back at that at some point. The stewards are going to be very, very interested to see how that one unfolded. It looked like a little bit of contact from the third place driver, Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton should know that better than that, than to try and push somebody off like that. But Glenn Chesterton has run away. I did say it, and I knew exactly what I was saying when drivers are going to take these opportunities, and a contact like that is going to cause a situation.
That was just a lapse in focus right at that moment, which gave basically just the second place, but still they're fighting, right? So Stoll is now having a little bit of gap, but Celia Sinkrival and
Van
Binsbergen. Sorry, mate, for the pronunciation.
It's okay.
It's really hard, but Graval is still at the front of it.
But more importantly, this is going to possibly mean that Luana's going to get swallowed up by this pack in the back. She's fought so hard for that podium, and she absolutely deserves it. Definitely the driver of the day by far, but you know, she's got a lot of pressure on her because her teammate is so far back next to Trev Hummer. Where is Martin de Gala? Martin de Gala is 13th, so Martin de Gala is going to lose the championship lead to somebody this round. I'm not quite sure who. We'll obviously have those updates to you before the next round, but more importantly, it looks like Sibrin Stoll is going to take a race win here today. As we've got 2 laps to go, we can see that Luana is still on the back of Steve. So Steve's not run away. She's just set her personal best there.
Yeah.
She's done her personal fastest lap. She's not setting the fastest laps, but she's been consistent. And it's allowed her to stay on the back of these front 3 drivers.
That battle is still not over. It's this one we are looking now, and
this one rages on indeed.
Yeah. Holmes is still defending very well from the Fisher Motorsport. No, sorry, Fisher Motorsport. Mark Holmes. He's still defending from Van Binsbergen, right?
That is Jari Van Binsbergen. You are correct. That's Van Binsbergen in the background. So more importantly, so we've got Sibrin Stoll in the lead. I'm looking at the table. We've got contact in the background there. Gravel's spun. Has Gravel been spun under contact, or has he just spun? He's been hit slightly there.
A little bit of contact there, yeah.
A little bit of contact, but nothing untoward, I don't think. But Luana is trying to push as hard as she can. You can see how much she closes.
Whoa.
Steve,
on the big lockup there.
There's a lot of lockup from these 2 drivers. They're going to cause a lot of incidents for themselves if they're not careful.
And
so they need to try and work hard. Last lap here. There's a big crash in the background. We can see Mark Holmes spins. Stu Neal's gone up to 6th place, so this could mean that the championship lead goes to Stu Neal. Whether it does or not, we'll see, wait to see, because there's going to be a lot of incident reports from this round. But Luana Santos is definitely doing herself proud here, so even if she doesn't take the win, she should definitely be proud of what she's done today. So Sibren Stoll is coming through the final corner. You can see Jamie Cullum just in front of him there. So he's going to come across towards the final turn, towards the final lap. There you go, there's Trev Hummer just staying out of the way, going to cross the line in the background. So there we go, Glenn Chesterton in second place, 2 podiums in his opening thing. Steve Hilton does come home in third provisionally. Luana Santos, an amazing drive from her in fourth place. Stefan de Groot in fifth. Stu Neal in sixth. Justin Wellblood coming across the line in seventh. Jari van Binsbergen in eighth. Mark Holmes just about recovers to ninth. Tejas in 10th with Madden Gravel 11th. Martin de Gala is going to come home 12th. 13th goes to Chris Fisher, Chris Callahan in 14th, and Eli Schwartz in 15th. Jimmy Cullum is, I believe, still doing another lap, and Trev Hummer has finished the race in 17th. So that is our racing today, and my god, what a race it's been.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. As we predicted, both last races were excellent to watch and really fun battles all around the field.
Absolutely. I'm going to quiz you for your driver of the day.
Luana for the last, definitely in the Pro-Am for this what we saw on this race. She did very well, and if there wasn't a little bit of misfortune here and there, she may have the podium position for sure.
Absolutely, I definitely agree there. Regan Mitchell did an amazing job there to hold off and take a great... Sorry, go ahead, Steve. Absolutely, I think he did a great job. I'm definitely going to give it to Sibren Stoll, who was actually, I had a look then, 17th place in the standings, nowhere near the podium in the first 2 rounds, to then take a race win. Definitely a great thing for him. I will definitely give him a driver of the day situation there for him. But I think that just about covers it for this round of the VTCC with Simsport Racing, Go Bobby and Grid Finder. You've joined us, myself, Adam Bent, and Adam Azalevich. Thank you very much, Adam, for joining me tonight.
Thank you. It was my pleasure being here, and yeah, hope to be here soon. Right? Enjoy.
Absolutely. 2 weeks' time at Silverstone. Thank you very much to Steve Proudly on the cameras, as always. A great job by him, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you very much.